I have a city in the desert. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 676. Now I choose you. Jiang Chen saw that there were many netizens from Hanchao country in his live broadcast room, which was not a new thing. In the future city area, all their networks are connected to the world. There is no network blockade here, so people from all countries can watch videos in the Sahara region and log into the website of the Sahara region. In addition, in the live broadcast room, Jiang also specially developed a voice and text translation software. For example, if you are in Hanchao country now, you just need to click on the Korean translation next to the anchor. Then the anchor's words will be automatically translated into Korean and Korean by the computer and then played out. At the same time, you can also send barrages in Hanchao language. When these barrages appear in front of Jiang Chen, they will all be automatically converted into Chinese. Of course, the barrages in the Chinese community will also be automatically converted into Korean and Korean for them to watch in front of a Hanchao country netizen. This is the case in Hanchao country, and the same is true in other countries and regions. This is why Sahara Live can defeat many domestic live broadcast websites and become the world's #1 live broadcast super live broadcast website. It doesn't matter if you don't believe this is Kingshan City. Oh, wait a minute, there is a Hanchao restaurant next to me, and their owner is from Hanchao. Jiang Chen said as he walked into a Hanchao restaurant that looked very high-end. After entering the restaurant, even the waiters were from Hanchao. The two receptionists at the door greeted Jiang Chen in very awkward Mandarin, and Jiang Chen also hurriedly replied to them. Are you guys from Hanchao? It just so happens that many people in Hanchao watch my live broadcast. Now that the new year is here, you can say hello to your relatives and friends in my live broadcast. After saying that, Kingshan pointed his camera at the two receptionists. The two receptionists naturally knew Jiang Chen, so when they heard that they could be on Jiang Chen's live broadcast, they were so excited. They waved their hands at the camera and greeted Han Chang'ai and his friends and family. It's true that, as soon as the little girl finished greeting, her friends soon followed suit and started a barrage. Jinxon, wow, isn't this Sergeant Suzan? I know him. His family has been cooking for generations. The year before last, they moved to Sak City. Park Jin-sung, this is my friend's sister. This is a new store my friend opened. Their family has opened 5 stores in Sak City and 3 branches in Kingshan City. After the two girls greeted each other, the boss of the store also ran out. The boss is a middle-aged man in his 30s. He is the brother of the receptionist. Hello, Jiang, little sister, go and prepare a private room for Jiang. After the boss finished speaking, Jiang Chen hurriedly shook his hand and said, no, it's almost the new year now. I'm going to go shopping somewhere else later. By the way, I'm broadcasting live now. You should also tell your relatives and friends. Tell them about your living conditions in Kingshan City and save them from worrying. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the boss hurriedly thanked him. He bowed to Jiang Chen and then introduced everyone to Jiang Chen's camera. Hello everyone, I'm Jin Sansi from Hancheng. I know that many people on the internet have misunderstandings about Sak City and Kingshan City. Here I tell you that it is really good to live here. The people here are very enthusiastic, it is safe, the environment is good, and the people are generous. It is really a good place that is hard to come by in this world. I hope my friends can put aside your prejudices and come here to have a look. And our friends from Hanchao country, as long as you are not from Xingxing Group, Daya Group and Zeit Entertainment Company, you can come here to travel. Come to my store and I will treat you to a free meal. In the past year or so, Kingshan City and Sak City have introduced new policies. This new policy was jointly proposed by the residents of Hanchao country in Kingshan City and Sak City. They proposed to the legislative councils of the two places to ban the employees of several groups that participated in the persecution of Miss Zai from entering Kingshan City and Sak City. But other Hanchao country citizens are innocent, and most of the Hanchao country citizens are very good. They also participated in the parade to protect Miss Zai, and they were also very dissatisfied with the people of these companies, so Sac City and Kingshan City should not restrict their entry. After the discussion in the Legislative Yuan, they finally agreed to the joint proposal of the residents of Kingshan City and Sac City. That is, to allow the residents of Han Chao country who participated in the persecution, except for the several groups of Miss Zai, to enter Sac City and Kingshan City. At the same time, these people are also allowed to immigrate to the two cities. However, since the government of Han Chao country has not formally apologized for this matter, all the drugs and products of Shafa Group are still prohibited from being sold to Han Chao country. After Jin Sansi finished speaking, he bowed to Jiang Chen again. Jiang Chen nodded to him and then let him go. When Jiang Chen continued to broadcast live, the group of people in Han Chao country kept their mouths shut. It is true that under the Sahara superstorm, the whole city can still be protected from a little wind and sand. If such a person says that he is not a god, who would believe it? Circle. Kingshan City is really not affected by wind and sand. Wow, this has to be said. Kingshan City is really Noah's Ark in the Doomsday. Zaya Fang, it's not just Kingshan City. Now Sac City, Future City and Scenic Area are not affected by sand and dust, okay. Fatty, that place is really great. It is the last oasis of mankind. It has a beautiful environment and cheap housing prices. It also provides free education and universal medical insurance. What else do you want? Buy a house now. Young man, yes, it is not too late to buy now. After Jiang Zhe's live broadcast last time, I immediately bought a house here with full payment. I said that with Jiang Zhe's character, I believe he will not be wrong. Thunderbolt, can you still buy a house now? How much is the house price now? Can we still buy it at the previous price? Tizu, that's right, we were fooled by those Koreans in Han Chao country before. From now on, we will only believe you, and will not believe anyone else. A group of people wanted to buy a house in Kingshan City again, and Jiang Chen finally smiled. Of course you can buy a house now, but, as I said last time, all the house prices have increased by 10,000 yuan per square meter on the original basis. In addition, we are also controlling the academic qualifications. Now all those who want to immigrate need to have a bachelor's degree or above. After Qian Sheng said this, a group of people regretted it. Teletubbies, is a bachelor's degree not enough? We were also planning to buy it, but for various reasons, my parents wanted to wait a little longer. I regret it now. Is there any medicine to regret it? In the past, others picked Jiang Chen, but now it is different. Because of the arrival of the big sandstorm, let alone the whole world, just take the whole of China, there are more than 700 million or 800 million people who want to survive in the oasis, okay. Chapter 677 A World in 2027. The lowest house price in Kingshan City is only 30,000 yuan per square meter. In China in 2027, even the houses in the city center of some 5th tier cities will exceed this number. Not to mention those people living in 2nd tier, 3rd tier and 1st tier cities. So now it's time to turn around, and Jiang Chen will choose them. I don't know about undergraduate degrees. Even if I promise you that you can apply with undergraduate degrees, have you ever thought about how many doctors and masters there are in the whole of China? Not only in China, Japan, but also in the cold wave country, the United States and Europe. How many masters and doctors there are in these places? Now we have entered an era of mass education. You all know that the popularity of graduate students and doctoral students is equivalent to the popularity of undergraduate students 10 years ago. And there is another problem now. The problem of desertification is not only a problem faced by China, but also a problem faced by all countries such as India, the United States, Europe and America. So, I personally think that it is possible that the remaining quotas cannot even accommodate masters. Jiang Chen said this for a reason. Today's immigrants are not like before. In the past, immigrants only bought one house a family, but now, many immigrants buy 2, 3, or even 5 houses. And it is useless to stop them. For example, if there is a master's degree in the family, they can immigrate. But after he came, he bought a house for his parents to live in. They also bought a house for their children to live in. There are even 2 or 3 children, 1 house for each, which means 3 or 4 houses. So now although Jiang Chen still has millions of houses, the number of families that can really immigrate is far less than millions. Bright eyes. Yes, even if Jiang Chen agrees to you, there are too many monks and too little meat. So, remember what Jiang Chen said in the future, and never doubt that he will never harm us at any time. Clear my heart. Here, I want to thank my uncle. My uncle works in the Qingshan municipal government. He almost cried and begged my father to come to Qingshan City to buy a house and immigrate. My father couldn't bear to see my uncle crying, and he thought that the family would be reunited in the future, and at least there would be someone to take care of him. So he came. Arctic Bear, my family immigrated. It was funny. My uncle applied for immigration. My uncle had cancer, and he spent too much money at home, and he often couldn't buy medicine. Later, my grandfather thought, forget it, just immigrate to Sac City. So my grandfather took my uncle, my father and my uncle who were all registered in the household registration book, to immigrate to Sac City. When we arrived in Sac City and applied for immigration, they said it was not possible because only my uncle had the qualifications, and at most he could bring my uncle's children and my grandparents. My grandparents knelt down and begged them, saying that although my uncle and my father had low education, they at least had a skill. What's more, our family had not split up, so we had to sell the old house before we could immigrate. Finally, the mayor of Sac City saw that we were pitiful and let our family stay. My uncle was idle in his hometown and fought every day. My father was a chef, but he was just a chef in a government agency. But now it's good. After my father came here, he took out a loan with the support of the municipal government to open a restaurant. When Sac City first immigrated, everyone had nowhere to eat, so my family's restaurant became popular. It's only been 2 years, and my dad bought a house in Qingshan City, and then our whole family immigrated to Qingshan City to do business. After the Arctic Ocean Bear finished speaking, someone soon asked, "Innocent bird, what about your uncle?" Arctic Ocean Bear, my uncle fought, and did no good, and later he was sent to the army by my grandfather. Yesterday when they were on vacation, my uncle came back on purpose. He is now a company commander, and the whole person has become completely different from before. Oh, by the way, my uncle participated in the Battle of Carry City. In the Battle of Carry City, my uncle fought bravely, so he was promoted quickly. When it comes to the Battle of Carry City, a group of people soon asked with great interest, "Spring Breeze, what is the Battle of Carry City?" A bowl of ramen. You don't know the Battle of Carry City. Carry City is a small city in the north of Akhan State, and this small city borders Sac City. Everyone must be familiar with the Akhanate. It is a country rich in oil, but oil is both its success and its failure. The United States accused the Akhanate of a false crime for the sake of oil, and then beat the Akhanate, and then supported a puppet regime. However, the Northern Rosa country also supported a rebel faction, and the two factions fought every day, so refugees ran all over the place. Optimus Prime, yes, half a year ago, many refugees crossed the desert and came to Sac City. Those refugees ate everything they saw, even the grass on the ground, and robbed stores. Kung Fu Master, are they so arrogant? Brother, they are pitiful, but too many refugees are indeed a problem. But fortunately, our troops handled it in time. Jiang Chen knew about the incident they were talking about. Half a year ago, a group of refugees did come from the Akhanate. There are about 500 refugees in this group. Jiang Chen can help this number, but they are just a beginning. There are tens of thousands or even hundreds of people behind them. Moreover, these are all poor people. They can't afford to buy a house. Because of the war, most of them can't read. Therefore, Jiang Chen can't take them in. Finally, after all the leaders discussed, Jiang Chen erected a barbed wire fence at the border of the Akhanate. The barbed wire fence temporarily blocked the entry of refugees, but there were still many Salmons in the Akhanate. These people fled there when the desert annexed Turkestan. When they heard that the Salmons had built a city in the place of Kyrgyzstan, they clamored to come. Originally, Jiang Chen should let them come. However, the city built by Jiang Chen is a place for high-end people. If he lets refugees in, how can he sell his house in the future? If the house cannot be sold, he will have no money to build more houses, and he will not be able to go deep into the desert. If he does not go deep into the desert, he cannot solve the reason why the Sahara desert is raging, and how can he save the people of the world? Therefore, under the pressure of the people of Sac City, Jiang Chen isolated the Salmons who fled to the Akhenaten outside the border. However, these people are fellow Salmons after all, so Jiang Chen let them occupy the city of Kari in the north of the Akhenaten. The city of Kari became a gathering place for the Salmons in the Akhenaten. However, the Salmons had not settled in Kari for a month when the Afghan army supported by the United States launched an attack on Kari. In order to save Kari and to allow more innocent refugees to have a place to rest, Jiang Chen sent people to negotiate with the invading Afghan army. Jiang Chen was willing to pay the new Afghan government money to lease Kari for the refugees to live there. Chapter 678, the lease agreement that goes back on its word. When it comes to leasing Kari City, the Akhenaten, which lacks medicine and various living facilities, agreed. After negotiations, the two sides finally reached an agreement. That is, Sac City will give the Akhenaten 50 million worth of medicine every year. In addition, Sac City will provide the Akhenaten with 20 million worth of living supplies in exchange for leasing Kari City for 1 year. After the lease agreement was signed, Sac City had just delivered the medicines and other things, but the Akhenaten took the money and ignored it. They sent people to attack Kari City, and they killed the unarmed Salmon and the Akhenaten refugees. Not only that, they also went across the border and ran to the territory of Justin to hunt down the refugees. This really pissed off Jiang Chen, so Jiang Chen gave an order to send troops to fight back. After a 2-month battle, the Sac City Youth Army swept the Akhenaten's invading troops and reoccupied Kari City. After occupying Kari City, the Akhenaten was afraid that Jiang Chen would support another armed force like the Rosha Kingdom in the north, so the Akhenaten signed the agreement again. The content of the agreement is that Kari City will be leased to Jiang Chen as a settlement for the Salmon people, and they will no longer interfere. However, the people of Kari City are not allowed to have their own weapons, nor can they have any contact with the rebels. After Jiang Chen agreed, both sides stopped fighting. In order to ensure the safety of Kari City, Jiang Chen sent a group of more than 500 young people from Sac City to maintain the daily security of Kari City. Perhaps the uncle of that fan was promoted to company commander because of his meritorious service in this battle. Okay, let's talk about the Battle of Kari City later. Today I will take you to visit the houses in Kingshan City again. Also, those who are planning to buy a house and don't want to waste the rest of their lives in the yellow sand, you must seize the opportunity. This time, add 10,000 and the minimum price will be 40,000 per square meter before the end of the month. After next month, all houses will increase by another 10,000 on the basis of the original price. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he took everyone to visit the remaining high-rise buildings. Jiang Chen was going to sell all the vacant houses. He would not think about those who came later. Because Jiang Chen knew that future city was just his starting point, and his destination was in the depths of the desert. After leading people to broadcast the remaining buildings in Kingshan City, Jiang Chen turned off the live broadcast. From the moment the live broadcast was closed, the immigration website of Kingshan City was paralyzed again. The strong wind blew mercilessly on the glass wall outside Kingshan City. The glass wall was very thick, so thick that you could not hear the sound outside the wall when standing inside the wall. Jiang Chen raised his head. He could not see how high the glass wall was. The only thing he could see was the yellow sand all over the sky on the other side of the wall. The boundary was clear, and the sun was still shining on this side of the wall. After having the money, Jiang Chen started to build Kingshan City again. He wanted to build Kingshan City as soon as possible after the storm ended, and then sell it. He has been delayed here for 5 years. How many 5 years can there be in a lifetime? So, it's time to save some money and go deep into the desert. Planting in Kingshan City is a bit difficult because the design of the city and the construction of the road are not easy. But fortunately, Jiang Chen has a lot of time, so he doesn't care. In 2 months, a new city has sprung up, and at this moment Jiang Chen has lost a few more pounds. As the end of the year approaches, Kingshan City and Sac City have already entered the New Year's carnival, but at this moment Jiang Chen came to the Rose Manor alone with a bouquet of flowers. At this moment, the front of Xia Yi's cemetery is still full of flowers. Xia Yi has been dead for 2 years. She did not become a big star during her lifetime, but her songs became popular in Southeast Asia after her death. But Xia Yi will never see this scene again. Walking to Xia Yi's grave, Jiang Chen put down the flowers and lit a cigarette. In the night, the surroundings were very quiet. Xia Yi, I have good news to tell you. Zite Company has closed down. It is also surprising that Zite Company can last for 2 years. With the establishment of Sahara Entertainment Group, with the influx of a large amount of funds, and the establishment of Sahara Film Ecological Chain, the entertainment group soon became the entertainment super tycoon of Hanshao country China, Sahara region and Southeast Asia. In addition, with the recent release of several large-scale family-friendly movies invested by the entertainment group, and starring stars from Hanshao country China and Sahara region, the market value of the entertainment group soon went up. With the rise of Sahara Entertainment Group, under their sanctions, artists of Zite Entertainment basically could not get TV dramas and TV performances. So soon, Zite's popular artists seemed to be invisible. In the end, they were unwilling to spend their popular years in a mudhole, so many of them settled with Zite. After terminating their contracts with Zite Entertainment, they turned around and joined Xia Yi Entertainment. So soon, Zite Entertainment collapsed. Their old artists ran away, and they couldn't recruit new trainees, so they had to close down. Xia Yi, forgive me for doing what I promised you so slowly. But don't worry, Jin Shanghao is dead. The next ones are Xinxing Group and Devour Group. By the way, Song Changken, the director of Sai TV station, the perverted guy who likes to whip women's buttocks with willow branches, has been fired. Jiang Chen was not surprised at Jin Shanghao's death. This guy with a big head and a fat belly tortured Xia Yi for many nights. Finally, when Zite Entertainment announced its bankruptcy, he climbed to a building in the United States and wanted to jump down and die. After all, his wife and children had been killed in the explosion, and he had lost everything, but he was not a pitiful person. Because he caused many people to lose everything. Evil will be punished. Jin Shanghao wanted to jump off the building to end his life, but this was all wishful thinking. Because his head was worth 7 million. So, when he showed up, countless killers rushed to him, and he was shot in the leg before he reached the edge of the building. He struggled to die gloriously, but countless bullets rushed to him, and finally he was shot into a sieve. After Jin Shanghao's death, Song Changken, the greasy uncle in his 50s, who liked to beat Xia Yi with willow branches, was scared. He wanted to send his wife and children to the United States to take refuge, but in view of Jin Shanghao's death in the United States, he didn't dare to go. After a year of fear in the country, he never left home once. He spent a lot of money to hire bodyguards, but every bodyguard wanted to kill him. After all, his head is worth tens of millions. No one has ever been willing to pay 10 million for a person to die. So Song Changken lived in fear every day. He never dared to sleep soundly. He would get up and hide under the bed if there was any slight movement, even if it was just a breeze blowing the windowsill. Because Song Changken did not show up every day, the TV station fired him. Because Song Changken's scandals broke out one by one, his wife finally unilaterally announced that she had severed ties with him and immigrated to the United States. However, on the third day, after she and her son arrived in the United States, she and her son died in the bathtub of the villa in the United States. The death of his wife and children made Song Changken collapse, and his nerves became more sensitive. After 2 months of this, he became as thin as a stick. A month ago, Song Changken jumped into the river and committed suicide. When Song Changken was fished out, his body stank. Chapter 679 The Grandest Party. After Song Changken died, no one showed up at the memorial service. In the end, the memorial service was cancelled. When Song Changken was sent to be cremated, his head disappeared at the crematorium. In the end, he did not leave a complete body. At this moment, not only Song Changken, but also several people from Xinxing Group and AI Group were not feeling well. Their heads were offered a higher bounty, tens of millions for each person, and even the bounty for Kai Shengzhen, the president of Xinxing Group, was as high as 30 million. This led to several people not daring to show their faces at ordinary times. Moreover, the stocks of the two groups also fell sharply for a long time due to the impact of the Xia Yi incident. After the winter storm, our new cars will be fully launched. In addition, our first batch of batteries will be launched on the market, as well as the screen. Next year will be the time for a decisive battle with Devour Group and Xinxing Group. Xiaoi, you just wait quietly, they will definitely lose this time. Once they lose, countless people will want their heads, and then your revenge will be avenged. At night, Jiang Chen stayed in front of Xia Yi's tomb for a long time before leaving. The new year arrived with the sound of gongs and drums. When Jiang Chen was a child, his favorite thing was to set off firecrackers, but the environment in the desert was fragile, and any activities that polluted the environment were cancelled. However, Future City was much better than China. Because of the arrival of the winter storm, 2/3 of China's land was deeply affected. The remaining 1/3 of the coastal areas were suffering from strong winds at sea. Therefore, the Spring Festival in the whole of China was bleak, and China's annual Spring Festival Gala was also forced to be cancelled. The Sahara region was different. Because the Sahara region was not affected by sandstorms, a particularly grand Spring Festival Gala was held. The gala was hosted by Future City and hosted by Sahara TV. Nearly dozens of popular stars from China, the cold wave country, and the Sahara region were invited to participate. In addition, on the night of the gala, Sahara Live, Sahara Video, My Sahara Story Network, and Cactus Video were broadcast live throughout the entire process. After the party started, almost all of Sak City and Kingshan City were empty. After all, this was the first time that the Sahara region held a super party, and it was in the year of the winter storm that raged in the desert. When the clock was about to ring, Jiang Chen was ready to give a New Year's speech. At this moment, because of several superstars of hit dramas, the ratings of the Sahara party have gone off the charts. At this moment, the number of people watching the party on Sahara Live alone has reached 400 million. Before going on stage, Fatty Wang hurried over in a suit. Brother Jiang, please advertise for me after you give your New Year's speech. Our dairy farm has entered the yogurt field. Now the brand is not well known, so it's a good time to advertise. After Fatty Wang said this, Jiang Chen was so fucked. What are you thinking about? Haven't all the TV ads been sold? Go talk to Leo Xia. Jiang Chen finished speaking and was about to go on stage. After he straightened his suit, Fatty Wang chased after him and shouted, "Wait a minute. Leo Xia told me that I have to pay for advertising. I just invested in 3 ranches this year and acquired a domestic mid-range dairy company to occupy the entire market. So I have no money now. And spring is coming. I have to buy chicken, duck, and goose seedlings, and then buy feed, which is a big investment." Fatty Wang following behind was so annoying. Okay. After I give my congratulatory speech and each group reports its annual report, you can advertise on your own. Jiang Chen went on stage after he finished speaking. Today, Jiang Chen is not only the city lord behind Future City, but also a big star. It's a bit too much to call him a star. After all, he has not participated in any works, but when it comes to internet celebrities, Jiang Chen, the #1 internet celebrity, is as famous as a god. Dear audience friends, Happy New Year. With the ringing of the New Year's bell, we have arrived in the new year of 2028. At this moment of bidding farewell to the old and welcoming the new, I would like to wish Chinese people around the world a happy new year on behalf of Future City, Sak City and Kingshan City. Looking back at yesterday, in the past year, Turkestan has achieved enviable results. We successfully withstood the winter storm from the desert, which has to be attributed to the scientific and technological innovation strength of Future City. In addition, we have turned the desert, which was originally a barren land, into an oasis, and we have attracted nearly 21 million immigrants on the basis of the oasis, which has to be said to be a miracle. Looking to the future, after the new year, in order for all mankind to live in the oasis, and for all mankind to survive, we will continue to launch new immigration services. We launch the natural forest oxygen bar city of Canny Valley. The new Canny Valley city will adopt a brand new design, integrating technology and nature. The new Canny Valley city will be able to accommodate 7 million people. In addition, we will lower the immigration standards of Canny Valley. From today, as long as you have a college degree or above, you can buy a house and immigrate to Canny Valley City. In addition, as a city dedicated to oasis, our housing prices are lower than you think. The lowest price per square meter in Kanishan City is 10,000 yuan. Let's take a look at the aerial video of Kanishan City. Jiang Chen said as he stretched out his hand and the documentary of Kanishan City started playing on the screen. Kanishan City is adjacent to Pottian Peak, so the scenery is beautiful, and Pottian Peak is unique, so this city is also very attractive. After playing the documentary of Kanishan City, Jiang Chen began to recommend another city he featured. Jiang Chen wanted to promote all his cities and attract enough immigrants before the United States and other countries banned him. Not only that, he also had to attract enough multinational companies. If Kanishan City, Sak City and Kingshan City are prepared for everyone to live in, then the city I'm going to recommend to you next will make the whole world crazy. Jiang Chen finished speaking, and at this moment, more than 1 billion eyes had gathered in front of the video. These eyes were not only from China, but also from Russia, Italy, and even the President of the United States, who always looked down on the crowd, was paying attention to Jiang Chen's live broadcast. Just a few months ago, the United States received a request from the Cold Tide country. The Cold Tide country requested the United States, led by the United States, to propose a bill to ban Turkestan. The US President Bugop didn't care at first, but when someone told him that Turkestan had developed a plant that could be grown in the desert, Bugop smiled. The United States couldn't develop such a plant with its strength, let alone a poor and backward Turkestan that was swallowed up by the desert. However, half a month ago, a large number of American scholars, professors, researchers and wealthy businessmen flew to China and then transferred to Turkestan, which attracted Bugop's attention. So on the night of the New Year, when it was noon in the United States, Bugop watched Jiang Chen's New Year's speech while eating. Chapter 680, Oriental Magic Tricks. Are these cities real? Definitely not. Orientals love magic tricks and Photoshop the most. They made them. Has the intelligence department studied this place called Future City? As Bugop was talking, the video showed the high-rise buildings of Future City. When the super high-rise buildings appeared in the video, almost billions of people were so surprised that they couldn't close their eyes. Only Bugop and the politicians of Cold Tide country and many other countries seemed calm. We haven't done any research yet. The president can tell it's fake at first glance. Not to mention in the desert, it's impossible for them to build so many high-rise cities overnight in China. In addition, you see that the future tower they are promoting is taller than the world's tallest building. This is a commonplace in the Sahara desert. How can such a tall building withstand the wind and sand? After the Secretary of State of the Presidential Office finished speaking, he specially opened a document for Bugop. The document contained news about the sandstorm in China. Look, the sandstorm has swept through 2/3 of China, and Turkestan is in the south of China, which is its barrier. If this place can block the wind and sand, how can the whole of China be attacked by the desert? At this moment, there are too many people who are skeptical like the Secretary of State. For example, President Cui Chenghao of Hanxiu country. Cui Chenghao has laughed to tears at this moment. They have always looked down on those countries in Central Asia. So they all sneer at the high technology in Central Asia. Especially when a city like Future City, which is taller than the skyscrapers all over the world, suddenly rises from the ground. It is simply too much of a joke. Cui Chenghao even thinks that, if it is true, then their entire Hanxiu country may not have as many skyscrapers as Sahara and Future City. And with the current economic strength of Hanxiu country, it will definitely crush any country in the desert. Especially now that the entire Central Asian country has been swallowed up by the desert. Even several oil-producing countries are in danger. Here, I solemnly declare to the world that Sahara Future City has been completed, and the financial buildings in Future City have been fully renovated. I hope that those companies with long-term vision and those partners who are ready to start a business will come to this city. Because I can guarantee that no matter what the world becomes in the future, this place will always be the original appearance of nature. In addition, I hope that those Fortune 500 companies will consider moving their headquarters here, or moving their Russian headquarters here. After you move here, you will enjoy the most preferential policies. Not only that, I can promise you that Future City will become the largest city in the world. It will also become the world's economic center. So coming here now will be the most correct decision in your life. Finally, the investment promotion phone number of Future City will be displayed at the bottom of the TV. Welcome people with lofty ideals. Welcome leaders who want to become the greatest companies in the world. You can call at any time for details. In addition, you can come here directly for inspection. Finally, I wish you all a happy new year. Jiang Chen hung up the phone directly after he finished speaking. After Jiang Chen hung up the phone, the mayor of Future City, Guanku, spoke on behalf of Future City. After Guanku briefly introduced the investment promotion of Future City, he asked Song Weeping, the mayor of Sac City, to give a brief city summary report. There was nothing much to say about Sac City, because Sac City was the only well-developed city in the Future City area. Next was Kingshan City, where Zhu Shaoxuan gave a speech. Zhu Shaoxuan briefly introduced the progress of school construction in Kingshan City, and introduced high-end university professors from around the world at the party. After the city introduction, Chen Jianzhao, the president of Sahara Group, gave a speech. Chen Jianzhao reported on the income and expenditure of the entire group. After reading the report, Jiang Chen realized that his company's business was really big. Nowadays, many companies of Sahara Group have begun to move out of China and move towards Southeast Asia. Especially pharmaceuticals and medical care have begun to develop in other states. Not only that, Sahara Group has also fully acquired Nasa Group, Xiaoshan Group and Ulan Engine Company. And after a year of hard work, Xiaoshan Group's losses have dropped to 10 billion. Chen Jianzhao said that within 3 years, Xiaoshan Group will achieve a balance between income and expenditure and achieve profitability within 5 years. Today, Sahara Group has acquired nearly 100 companies worldwide, most of which are old-fashioned groups. These groups are involved in various industries such as automobiles, ships, transportation, pharmaceuticals, aviation, and home appliances. However, most of these companies are not profitable, and many are in a loss-making state, but they are not as bad as Xiaoshan Group. In addition, Sahara Group has also invested in a number of emerging industries and some potential technology companies. For example, Jiang Chen Technology, which does big data, Maimang Games, which makes games, Arc Technology, which makes intelligent robots, and Skyflying Group, which makes drones. After Chen Jianzhao finished his report, the introduction of each branch group followed. These groups include the Renewable Energy Group, which does garbage disposal. Now the Renewable Energy Group has established branches in nearly 30 countries around the world. Sahara Power Group has achieved power supply to the entire new province, and will also supply power to Gansu and other provinces in the future. The same is true for communications companies. Communications companies have fully entered the Chinese market and have become the 4th largest communications company in China. The communication company is preparing to enter the Southeast Asian market in the new year, especially several underdeveloped countries such as Myanmar. After the introduction of more than a dozen branch group leaders, Fatty Wang came on stage with a bottle of yogurt. Looking at Fatty Wang carrying yogurt, Jiang Chen felt his head swell. In this evening party watched by more than 1 billion people around the world, can you not advertise so directly? Happy New Year everyone, I'm Wang Sanpang, the president of Sahara Livestock Group and Wanjiang Group. Today I bring you the latest yogurt developed by our group. This yogurt has a unique taste and rich nutrition. It is your first choice for home travel. As soon as Fatty Wang finished speaking, Lao Zai roared below, "What's the matter? Who asked him to advertise? Let him stop." After Lao Zai finished speaking, Jiang Chen sighed and said, "Forget it, let him finish." If Fatty Wang was not his good brother, Jiang Chen would definitely pull him down and beat him to death. "Brother Jiang, we are broadcasting, live to the world now. We said that advertising is not allowed. He is breaking the rules. If one person breaks the rules, then there will definitely be other company executives who will advertise later. If this continues, won't the companies that collect advertising fees from TV be furious? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 681 Advertising fees must be collected. After Wang Panzi finished his advertisement, he introduced the future plans of Jiang Group and Sahara Livestock Group. After the introduction, he came down from the stage. As soon as Wang Panzi came down, Xia Heidong stopped him. "Old Wang, don't you know that TV stations do not allow private advertising? This time, I will give you a face for Brother Jiang and charge you 1 million yuan for advertising. I will ask your company's finance department to pay it to Sahara TV later. If you dare to advertise without permission next time, I promise that your company's products will never be seen in my entertainment group in the future." After Xia Heidong finished speaking, Wang Panzi said with a smile, "Okay, I will pay you 1 million yuan later. Brother Jiang, thank you." Because the evening party in China was cancelled, the evening party of Sahara TV became the Trump party, so the advertising fee at the evening party was also incredibly expensive. Just like Wang Panzi's product advertisement, it would start at 5 or 6 million yuan, not to mention that the ratings of the evening party are still so high now. It was already 1 o'clock in the morning when I left the live broadcast of the evening party. At this moment, the Cactus Forest World Scenic Area was still a scene of surging crowds. Ding-a-ling. Suddenly Jiang Chen's cell phone rang. It was late at night. Jiang Chen took out his cell phone. Unexpectedly, it was Secretary Fang who called from Beijing. Secretary Fang usually never called him. "Hello, Secretary Fang, it's so late. What's the matter?" "Zhao Jiang, the leader just watched your New Year's speech. Your future city is very spectacular." After Secretary Fang finished speaking, Jiang Chen knew what he was up to. "It's just so. If the leader likes it, you can come and visit it anytime." "Okay, Zhao Jiang, our northwest region is your ear area. You can't just focus on your own development and let our rear area eat sandstorms every day. It's late at night. Who would talk nonsense here for no reason?" When Secretary Fang finished speaking about his purpose, Jiang Chen nodded. He knew that he had been in the desert for so many years now, and it would be impossible to fool around any longer. People must understand their position after all. "Secretary Fang, don't worry, there will definitely be no seeds this year. After all, they are all used to Green Future City and Canishan City. But I can promise you here that next year, I will definitely leave the seeds for you. Please tell the leader that I will definitely leave them for you next year to save the seeds in Urumqi." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang smiled. He liked to talk to people like Jiang Chen who were direct. "Okay, since you said so, I will also tell you our good news. A few days ago, the Cold Tide country proposed to the United States that Turkestan should be developed into a new terrorist base. However, this proposal has been rejected by us. In addition, I will tell you one more thing. According to the information intercepted by our intelligence department, several companies of the Xinxing Group and the devour Group are ready to take action against you." After Secretary Fang finished speaking, Jiang Chen smiled. If they didn't take action against him, Jiang Chen would go to them sooner or later. If they dared to come to him, they would be courting death. "How do they want to attack me? I don't know the details, but I heard from the intelligence department that the devour automobile group has hired assassins, and they want to attack you in the scenic area. And I heard that they are willing to offer a 10 million reward as long as they can kill you. Jiang Chen's reward for their heads is also 10 million, so several people are also prepared to use a large sum of money to kill Jiang Chen. Then let them come. I want to see which assassin organization dares to take this 10 million. Zhao Jiang, I advise you to hide. We are good men and don't suffer losses in front of us. Now, what kind of people can't be found for money? You hide like the people from the devour Group and the Xinxing Group, so that they can't find you. After a long time, no assassin will be willing to risk his life to wait for you in the desert every day." Secretary Fang said it well. People die for money and birds die for food, and there will be brave men under heavy rewards. What's more, these people have offered 10 million in cash, and Jiang Chen often broadcasts live, so they can easily get Jiang Chen's location. Thanks for the reminder, but I won't hide. Also, Secretary Fang, don't worry, even if I die, I will still do what I promised you. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang hurriedly shook his head. Don't say such discouraging words. Winter storms can't kill you, let alone a few killers. And finally, I remind you one more thing. A big tree attracts the wind. Just keep your head down and make a fortune. Don't let certain things be known to the world. In addition, some American intelligence agencies have been eyeing you, and I guess a lot of American spies have already infiltrated your city. They are collecting some things, and I guess they will try to get the secret that seeds can live in the desert from you. Take my advice, you might as well apply for this patent now and then sell it to the world. Otherwise, sooner or later, the United States will find all kinds of reasons to destroy your city, and when they start to take action, your equipment will not be able to resist at all. Jiang Chen had already considered what Secretary Fang said. The strength of the United States is beyond doubt. Even if China, which is developing rapidly now, wants to fight with it, it will be slightly inferior. What's more, the future city only has 3 cities. So this is also the reason why the treacherous minister can't wait to quickly increase the population. As long as his people are enough, the United States will also consider it when the United States finds an excuse to fight him. By the way, Secretary Fang, when it comes to war, you really reminded me. I now have a population of more than 20 million. After the winter storm is over and the era of great immigration begins, my future city will have at least 40 million people. I have so many people, I must have the ability to protect them, so I need arms. Now there are only more than 10,000 armed forces in the Sahara region, including the army, armed police forces, city defense teams, and grassland inspectors. Excluding the armed police forces and those who perform city security tasks, there are only more than 3,000 people who can really go to the battlefield to fight. In addition, the equipment of these more than 3,000 people is a batch of outdated equipment purchased from Jiang. These equipments are advanced for fighting bandits and warlords in Central Asia. But once they are matched with the advanced equipment of the United States, they can only be beaten. The Carry God War epidemic is an example. In the Battle of Carry City, the Sac City Youth Army encountered an Akhenaten army fully equipped by the United States. As soon as the battle started, the youth army was directly suppressed by the firepower of the opposite side. If it were not for the well-trained and fearless youth army, and the reliable intelligence and geographical advantages provided by the local Salman people, the nearly 1,000 youth army participating in the Battle of Carry City would definitely have gone without return. Chapter 682. The truth about falling behind will lead to being beaten. The Sac City Youth Army won the battle with great difficulty. After the battle, Jiang Chen realized the importance of advanced weapons. So taking this opportunity, Jiang Chen prepared to send a batch of advanced weapons and equipment to China. Secretary Fang, can you tell the relevant personnel to sell us a batch of advanced weapons and equipment? The weapons and equipment sold to us by your Southwest military factory are all discarded by you. Because of this, we suffered a great loss in the Battle of Carry City. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang laughed. Suffering a loss is a blessing. You should suffer a loss, so that you will know not to provoke the United States. And don't go to the muddy water in Central Asia. It is a game field between major powers. If you get involved, once a fight breaks out, you may not even have bones left. The south of the Akhenaten is mainly controlled by the US military forces, who support the so-called Akhenaten government forces. The northwest of the Akhenaten is controlled by another part of the armed forces supported by the northern giant crocodile Rosa. The border between the Akhenaten and Sac City is a chaotic area. At present, this chaotic area is temporarily controlled by the wandering refugee armed forces supported by Jiang Chen. China knew about this, so Secretary Fang warned Jiang Chen directly. No, I want to wade into this muddy water. The most important thing is that, if I don't care, those refugees will flock to Sac City and Future City. If they run to Sac City, do you think I can afford to feed them? Jiang Chen is not running a charity base. Why should he clean up the mess of the United States and Rosa? What's more, Jiang Chen is not their father. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang smiled. This matter was not his responsibility. The main purpose of his contact with Jiang Chen was to let Jiang Chen live well. Let Jiang Chen green the desert well, and then block the Sahara desert for them. So Secretary Fang said to Jiang Chen, Zio Jiang, you have to solve this problem yourself. I'm just reminding you in good faith, that's all. In addition, speaking of weapons, according to the regulations of the United States, we can't sell you high-end weapons. After Secretary Fang finished speaking, Jiang Chen knew that, if he didn't have high-end weapons, he would always be led by the nose by the United States. When the United States says that you are not in compliance, the United States will have reason to raze you to the ground immediately, and then all your seeds will belong to the United States. All rights and interests are fought for by yourself. If you want to get what you want, you must have what others want. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen looked at the phone and said, I have the best engine production base in the world. I have acquired aviation engine factories in Ukraine and recruited their engine research and development talents. In addition, I have also acquired automobile engine companies in Angying and Italy. I think we can cooperate. In the future, if you sell me high-end weapons, I can sell you engines that are banned by Western countries. And I can also develop more advanced aviation engines according to your needs and sell them to you. So Secretary Fang, please talk to the leader. Our cooperation is absolutely mutually beneficial. Jiang Chen is just in the early stage of his career. The United States have no time to study him. Maybe they are unwilling to study an unknown neutral country swallowed by the desert. So before being sanctioned, Jiang Chen spent a huge amount of money to acquire many high-end technology companies and power companies. This includes the engine. Jiang Chen knows that the engine will always be the most important part that restricts the improvement of China's air force strength. Moreover, China was also prepared to purchase Ukraine's aviation engine technology, but Ukraine did not sell it under pressure from the United States. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang could not help but frown. Jiang Chen had not reported this matter to him. In many things, Shangjing had turned a blind eye to Jiang Chen, but they never expected that Jiang Chen's development speed would be so rapid that it was beyond their expectations. Really? Zhao Jiang, you can make conditions to us now. But it doesn't matter, as long as you really have the aviation engine technology of Ukraine, we can really cooperate at that time. Secretary Fang, when have I ever lied to you? Well, as soon as the winter storm is over, you will send experts to Future City for inspection. We can cooperate on many things. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Secretary Fang also nodded. He would definitely report this matter to the leaders of Shangjing. And Jiang Chen is also willing to cooperate with China in many aspects, not just because Jiang Chen is Chinese. Jiang Chen understands one thing: there are many superpowers in the world, but there are almost no trustworthy ones. According to the United States, he is simply a troublemaker in Central Asia. If it weren't for the United States, Jiang Chen would even doubt that Central Asia, which has oil and natural gas, is simply the richest region in the world. It is precisely because of this troublemaker that not only has the lives of the people in the places with oil been made miserable, but also because of the long-term war, which has destroyed the already fragile environment in Central Asia. The Saharan storm directly annexed half of Central Asia. In addition to the United States, the Rosa country is not friendly either. They are also a master who likes to interfere with others. So Jiang Chen chose China, which is based on the principle of peaceful, friendly and civilized coexistence. Now only such a country can save and develop Central Asia. Okay, Zhao Jiang, you just develop yours well. After the winter storm is over, we are going to organize people to visit you and learn how to prevent and control deserts. Okay, you can come at that time. How much do you want to know about this knowledge and technology? I will tell you as much as I can, and I will never hide it. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen decided that it was time to supervise the construction of the engine workshop in the aviation town. The security of Future City can be said to have entered the countdown stage. Once the US spies report the situation of Future City to the US Security Center, Future City will be really unsafe. And we must do a good job in this winter, and do a good job in our own car production. The damn Hanshao country dared to report to the United States, so they must be killed. And the Dair group, you dare to send assassins to kill me, then I will first make you have no money to hire assassins. I wonder how you can hire assassins then. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen directly edited an emergency bill for Future City. He wanted to notify all departments to take emergency action and cancel the holiday to enter the track of rapid development. Chapter 683, launching the global acquisition plan. At 4 AM on New Year's Day, all the presidents and above of Future City and Sahara Group received a text message. The Spring Festival holiday is shortened by 3 days. From today, everyone should be alert. The spies of the United States and the assassins of the devour group have entered our lives. In addition, we must seize every opportunity to acquire those high-end manufacturing companies and basic manufacturing companies. After the acquisition is completed, the core technology and assembly workshops must be moved to Future City, and those high-end talents must also strive to move to Future City. In addition, for the core personnel of some high-end enterprises and manufacturing industries, free housing can be given, and any family difficulties will also be solved. After receiving the text message, the executives who were immersed in the joy of the new year suddenly became nervous. However, they were not afraid. After all, they had Jiang Chen with them. Even if a sandstorm came, they could not do anything to them, let alone a few spies and assassins. Ding-ling-ling. Less than 10 minutes after the text message was sent, Jiang Chen's phone rang. The caller was the manager of Future City, and Jiang Chen reached out to answer the call. Hey, Jiang. The US spies are here. This is no small matter. And those killers, they don't care about their conscience for money. So I suggest that we take advantage of the winter storm to close the city and thoroughly investigate these killers and spies hiding around us. Guanku knew that once the US intervened in Future City, they would bring a devastating blow to Future City. So Guanku felt that it was necessary to conduct a comprehensive search. Speaking of the search, Jiang Chen shook his head. No, if we close the city and search now, it will inevitably cause panic among the people. Now is the time for our rapid development. We need a lot of money to buy companies from all over the world. And if we want to buy these things, we must sell the houses in Future City and Canny Mountain. So we must not cause panic now. Jiang Chen also thought about closing the city for investigation, but he quickly rejected this idea. He couldn't ruin his reputation as the safest place in the world because of a few spies or killers. Because once this reputation was ruined, his large immigration plan would die. Once his large-scale immigration plan fails, it will be a problem whether he can survive, not to mention going to the center of the Sahara Desert. Brother Jiang, then don't go anywhere. Move directly to the sanatorium in the military zone. Jiang Chen has become the spiritual symbol of the entire desert area. In the Sahara area, Jiang Chen is simply a godlike existence. No one can guarantee that, if Jiang Chen dies, the Future City can continue to develop. No, if I don't show up often, it proves that I'm afraid of them. Offense is the best defense, so I have decided that I will go to the automobile group to inspect it the day after tomorrow. After the winter storm is over, I will personally lead our cars to Beijing to participate in the spring auto show. The devour group is a group that focuses on automobiles, and it is an automobile company that mainly exports. In the export area, China is a very important market for them. As long as Jiang Chen messes up their market, the devour group will lose 30% of its income. This will be very fatal to an automobile company. Okay, we will speed up production. I will definitely strive to have our first batch of cars in mass production after the winter storm is over. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen had a good sleep. After waking up, Jiang Chen met with several investment companies, including Mojiang Investment, Shangjing Capital, Hachao Country Shacheng Investment, and Europa Emerging Holdings. These investment companies are all state-owned capital investment companies under Sahara Group or Future City. The meaning of their existence is to acquire companies around the world for Future City. The main purpose of Jiang Chen's meeting with them is to let them seize the time to acquire those companies that Future City needs. The meeting lasted for a day. At the end of the day, Jiang Chen and the heads of these companies agreed on the acquisition plan of nearly 100 companies. These more than 100 companies include 11 heavy industry companies in Europe, chemical companies in Japan, and agent processing companies in Southeast Asia, and some private design institutes and computer research centers in the United States. In order to acquire these companies, Jiang Chen will have to come up with at least nearly 1 trillion yuan. Jiang Chen did not have these funds. He still owed the system trillions of yuan, and he would have to wait until next year to sell the building to pay it back. After the meeting with the investment company, Jiang Chen rushed to the machinery town on the third day to inspect his car production. In 2 years, Sahara Automobile Group has been built from scratch, and now all the factories of Sahara Automobile Group have been put into use. In order to facilitate Jiang Chen's inspection, Guanku specially concentrated all the models of Sahara Automobile in one exhibition hall. At the entrance of the glass-windowed exhibition hall, an exhibition hall covering an area of nearly 1,000 acres was full of various cars. "Brother Jiang, let me introduce it to you." Jiang Chen had just walked into the exhibition hall when more than a dozen accompanying personnel occupied the entrance of the exhibition hall. These accompanying personnel included white people, Chinese, and even a few Indians. "Okay, then you can introduce them to me. The automobile group has spent a lot of money in the past few years, and it's time for this money to be rewarded." Jiang Chen walked into the car showroom. The interior of the car showroom was very spacious, and the bright floor was full of cars of various series. Next to the cars of each series, the name and series of each car were also marked. Guanku took Jiang Chen to the sports car park closest to the door, and introduced them to Jiang Chen. "Brother Jiang, look, these are the 2 series of sports cars we produce. These 5 are Pagani sports cars, and these 3 are sports cars from the Sahara Automobile Group. These 2 are our latest new energy sports cars, and these 2 cars are the only 2 new energy sports cars in the sports car industry." After Guanku finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at the sports cars of the 2 brands and nodded. From the design of the appearance, these sports cars have their own characteristics. However, the sports cars are all novel and unique, which is what Jing Crossing likes very much. "Can I test drive it?" There is a wide asphalt road in the middle of the showroom, which is provided for test drives. "Of course, Brother Jiang, how about trying this new energy sports car?" "Sure," Jiang Chen said, and a young man beside him got in, opened the door and drove the sports car to the driveway. Jiang Chen walked into the sports car. The leather sofa of the sports car was very comfortable to sit on, and the various lights and instruments were also very trendy. He stepped on the accelerator, and the electric sports car rushed out like a gust of wind. The acceleration of 100 kilometers was completed in just a few seconds, and this electric sports car can run at least 1,300 miles on a single charge. Chapter 684, Mass Production Determines Victory. After trying out the sports car, Jiang Chen was very satisfied with it. Then, Guan introduced to Jiang Chen 5 series of nearly 60 new cars from Sahara and Pagani. Jiang Chen selected several of them for test drive, and felt that they were all very good. The car felt good to drive, and the price was very affordable. "These cars are all good. How many of them can be mass produced now?" Having a good car is one thing, but being able to mass produce is the most important, because only by being able to mass produce can you really make money. Speaking of mass production, Guan picked up a report and explained it to Jiang Chen. "Brother Jiang, our gasoline cars can all be mass produced. 1/3 of our new energy vehicles can be mass produced. In addition, for new energy vehicles, what we lack most is batteries." Speaking of batteries, Jiang Chen remembered the battery town he built. The battery town acquired Xiaosong Battery and has its own battery research institute. Of course, more importantly, their batteries are directly researched from those existing super batteries. Haven't they made any achievements in the past 2 years? Battery Town can't supply batteries? Now the car batteries produced in Battery Town are mainly first generation batteries. The endurance and charging time of first generation batteries are much inferior to those of second generation batteries. So in order to increase competitiveness, our group's new energy vehicles all use second generation batteries. At present Battery Town only produces second generation batteries in the town's factories, and battery processing companies in China, Southeast Asia, Europe and other places still produce first generation batteries. So our new energy vehicles will be in short supply of batteries for the time being. Then why don't you produce second generation batteries in other factories? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan urged, a little embarrassed, "This is mainly because we are afraid of technology leakage. There is another difficulty. The production of second generation batteries requires the assembly of new battery production lines. Now that the first generation battery production line has just been put into production, it will lose a lot of money for no reason if the second generation is assembled in less than a year. So now Battery Town is only preparing to set up a new second generation battery production base in the battery production base of Zhaoshan Group in Donggying. I estimate that the production of second generation batteries will be able to supply our cars in a year. Then we don't have new energy vehicles with first generation batteries. Now is the time when new energy vehicles are crowding out the market. Whoever masters new energy vehicles will be able to master the future automobile market. Therefore, Jiang Chen felt that it was necessary for their cars to be launched in advance. Yes, that's why I told you that we have 1/3 of new energy vehicles that can be mass produced. These new energy vehicles are all equipped with first generation batteries. Today, the first generation batteries produced by the Battery Town have signed contracts with nearly 20 car companies. This includes the new energy vehicles of the very famous Stella, Guangban, and Bide. The batteries in the Battery Town are globalized, and they are not just for the Sahara automobile group. Okay, take advantage of the winter storm and let all automobile assembly companies run at full capacity. Before the arrival of the Shanghai-Beijing Auto Show, you must produce at least 100,000 cars for me. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guan Q nodded, and the goal of 100,000 cars can still be achieved. Now, in order to enable the automobile group to quickly seize the market, Guan Q has put forward the slogan of giving priority to the development of automobiles. Therefore, most of the money of the automobile group is used to purchase automobile OEM factories around the world. According to Guan Q's statistics, Sahara Automobile Group has at least 7 automobile assembly companies in the world. In countries where they are not allowed to invest in processing factories, Guan Q has cooperated with at least 15 automobile processing companies. Many of these companies are in places that are not affected by the storm, so it is no problem to produce 100,000 cars in the month when the storm ends 2 months later. Don't worry, Brother Jiang, as long as Brother Jiang can sell it, I can definitely guarantee that our cars can be picked up at any time. After Guan Q finished speaking, Jiang Chen asked about the after-sales service of Sahara Automobile in China, Southeast Asia and other countries. After all, selling a car now is not just about selling a car, but also about the after-sales service of the car. If there is no after-sales 4S store for the car, then there will definitely be fewer people buying it. Speaking of after-sales service, Guan Q sighed. Brother Jiang, we are now developing and producing cars, and our funds are basically used for this. So our 4S stores are relatively few. At present, we only have one 4S store in the provincial capitals of each province, and the sub-provincial capitals of developed cities. 4S stores are responsible for the sales and after-sales service of cars. In the future, after we sell the first batch of cars, we will invest in more 4S stores in cities. Guan Shu was telling the truth. Today's automobile group is simply a pixie. This pixie means that it never makes money before. So it is not easy for Guan Shu to let every provincial capital and sub-provincial city have a 4S store. Okay, then take your time. Jiang Chen said this and talked to a group of executives of the automobile group about the future of the automobile company. Then he said goodbye and went to the Battery Town. In the Battery Town, Jiang Chen mainly inspected the construction and development of the Battery Town. Today's Battery Town has already entered a profit model. The Battery Technology Research Institute has launched the first generation of automotive batteries based on the original battery research technology. This battery is the battery on the improved version of the Sapphire sports car. However, the new energy vehicle battery group has developed it into 3 levels, divided according to the battery storage capacity. However, even this lowest grade battery is much better than the batteries of several other new energy vehicle battery production companies on the market. Therefore, relying on its excellent technology, Sahara New Energy Battery Group has reached a cooperation intention with several companies in the world that pay more attention to new energy vehicles. With the arrival of orders, Sahara New Energy Battery Group has established battery production bases around the world. Now their battery production has reached the top 3 battery companies. In addition, in the field of electric vehicles, the Battery Town electric vehicle batteries were snatched by major electric vehicle companies as soon as they entered the market. In addition, the electric vehicle group established by Sahara Group itself also sells electric vehicles and electric tricycles to the world. Although the Sahara Electric Vehicle Group cannot be compared with several other old-fashioned electric vehicle companies in China and the world, in terms of market reputation, Sahara Electric Vehicles have far surpassed similar companies. Once a company's reputation goes up, the rest of the time will be left to time. After visiting the battery town, Jiang Chen felt that he had a 70% chance of winning the battle against devour Automobile. Whether he could completely defeat devour Automobile would depend on the Beijing Auto Show. Chapter 685, A Window to the World. Time flies, and the winter storm is over in a blink of an eye. During the winter storm, Sahara Live was broadcast, live 24 hours a day. So Sahara Live became a window for the world to understand the Sahara region. At this moment, intelligence departments of many countries are paying attention to Sahara Live and are also studying relevant information about Sahara. Of course, Jiang Chen did not pay much attention to this. After all, what Jiang Chen wanted was for the whole world to know about the Shanghai area and for the whole world to come to this place. As long as his goal was achieved, he didn't care whether others could use this window to do something harmful to him. It's time to attend the auto show. The Shanghai Auto Show was held as scheduled in the spring. Now that China is developing rapidly, China's influence in the world is growing. It is precisely because of this, coupled with China's large population and high demand for vehicles, so all brands of cars in the world want to get a share in China. And if all brands of cars want to get a share in China, they must participate in China's auto show. So this time the Shanghai Auto Show was very large, and it is said that nearly 40 or 50 brands of cars will participate in the exhibition. Of course, these brands include the devour group of Hanchao country. Call Chairman Li first and ask him to reserve a large exhibition hall for me. Jiang Chen dialed Chairman Li's number as he spoke. Chairman Li is a busy man now. He has to deal with various dinner parties every day. Those who attend the dinner parties are undoubtedly companies that want to use his connections to get a good booth at the auto show. So when Jiang Chen called, Chairman Li was drinking at a dinner party of several auto groups. Wait a minute, I'll take a call. If it was an ordinary person's call, Chairman Li would not be a big deal. But when Chairman Li saw that it was Jiang Chen's call, he was refreshed. Hey, Boss Jiang. You finally called me. I thought you would not attend our auto show. There are nearly 4 auto shows in China now. Chairman Li wants to make his auto show the strongest and best station in China. So he must know a lot of gimmicks to attract people's attention. And it is undoubtedly a hot topic to let the conflicting Hanchao country devour group and Sahara group face each other. Chairman Li, have you reserved a spot for me? I want the best spot, and the area must be large enough to accommodate at least 30 cars. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Chairman Li showed an excited smile on his face. Okay, it must be the best spot, and it can definitely accommodate 30 cars. In addition, I will give you an additional exhibition hall for 3 cars. Now that the winter storm has lasted for nearly 3 months, many companies have collapsed in these difficult 3 months. Therefore, many small car companies that have reserved exhibition halls at the Shanghai Auto Show have closed down, and Chairman Li is worried about this matter. Okay, by the way, will the devour Automobile Group participate in this auto show? Chairman Li was so straightforward, Jiang Chen naturally knew what he was thinking. But no matter what Chairman Li thought, Jiang Chen just had to achieve his goal. Speaking of the devour group, President Li nodded hurriedly and said, yes, we did. The 3-month winter storm prevented many people who wanted to buy cars from buying them. So after the winter storm, it is the peak period for car buying. The devour group is now focusing on the domestic market, and they will definitely participate in our auto show. When Jiang Chen heard that the devour Automobile Group also participated in their auto show, he showed a proud smile on his face. Okay, then I request that their automobile group's booth be placed next to my booth. Jiang Chen launched more than 30 cars this time, and the performance and cost performance of these cars are all the top in the automotive industry. So Jiang Chen is confident that he can beat them at the auto show. Don't worry, it's already been arranged. The devour group also asked to be put together with you. He wants to have a decisive battle with you. In addition, don't worry, Boss Jiang, I have already found all the media for you. I have invited the most famous auto network in our country and various media such as Auto World abroad. This will definitely be a feast for our automotive industry. After the winter storm resumed work, many people wanted to make a name for themselves at this resumption of work banquet, so President Lee thought very carefully. He invited all kinds of media and TV stations, and then used the gimmick of Jiang Chen's battle with the devour group to attract people who are interested in cars or entertainment to participate in his auto show. In this way, his station can attract more people, and then his auto show can surpass the other 3 station centers. Okay, let them wait. Jiang Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Half a month later, Shangjing Station officially opened on Saturday. Jiang Chen and Guan Ku arrived in Shangjing early. When they arrived at the Shangjing International Auto Show Center, the auto show center was already crowded with people. At 9 o'clock in the morning, the sky in Shangjing was still gray, but this could not stop the enthusiasm of the reporters. Jiang Chen saw more than a dozen media reporting on the scene as soon as he entered the exhibition hall. Hello, everyone. This is the live report of Auto TV. We are now at the Shangjing International Auto Show Center, which is the first auto show center in China since the beginning of spring. Now there are nearly 40 auto companies from around the world gathered here, and the number of tourists has reached tens of thousands. Hello, everyone. This is the live report of Auto World Network. After the 3-month winter storm, China has seen a turning point in protective consumption. Going on a trip at any time has become everyone's slogan, so the army of car buyers has gathered here. Let's go to the exhibition hall together. After a group of reporters entered the exhibition hall, Jiang Chen and Guan Ku also followed into the exhibition hall wearing sunglasses. As soon as they entered the exhibition hall, there were indeed a lot of people in the exhibition hall. Almost every booth was full of cars, and every car was full of people. Some people took pictures of the car models, some opened the car door to inquire about the configuration of the car, and some people had reached an agreement with the salesperson and were ready to pay the advance. Of course, most of the cars at the door are low-end cars, priced between 50,000 and 100,000 yuan, so there are naturally many people looking at them. Walking to the middle of the exhibition hall, a very large car company appeared soon, which occupied a large area and was luxuriously decorated. Jiang Chen looked up and saw that it was the booth of Stella New Energy Group. As a world leader in new energy vehicles, Stella has successfully launched 4 new energy vehicles. This time, with the help of the powerful Sahara generation battery, Stella directly launched 3 new models. Boss, when will the new car be mass produced? A boss with a bag asked, pointing to a new car priced at 2 million yuan. After the boss finished speaking, a boss next to him in a brown suit sighed and said, "Hey, I like this car too." Now in Shanghai and Beijing, only new energy vehicles are easy to get licensed and can run in the city. But at stellar speed, it will probably take a few years to be on the market. Chapter 686, Strong Market Share. When it comes to Tesla's mass production, the sales manager hurriedly explained to everyone, "I can tell from the first glance that you are very visionary CEOs. Let me tell you, this car is our most popular car in the world. Does Bill Gates know that he likes this car very much and now drives it wherever he goes?" The sales manager is a young man in his 30s, and he can bring the dead back to life with his words. Don't talk about useless things. When will your car be measured? When can we get a new car? It's useless if we can't get the car. After several people talked about it, the sales manager hurriedly explained with a smile, "Don't worry, we have entrusted the production of this car to the automobile manufacturing company in Hucheng. As long as our batteries can keep up, everyone can get a new car within a year." How much is the price increase for getting a new car within a year? And is your price marked as the foreign price or the actual price? After an insider asked, the sales manager looked a little embarrassed and tried to avoid the topic. The price increase is not much. Even if the tariff is included, it is still cost effective. When a group of people were hesitating with the sales manager, Jiang Chen had already left Stella's showroom. Going further ahead is the showroom of Guangfeng Automobile. Guangfeng Automobile is a product of cooperation between Japanese brands in China. As a joint venture car, Guangfeng Automobile has very impressive sales in China. At the same time, Guangfeng Automobile is also an early car company to conduct research on new energy vehicles. Don't miss it. If you pass by, come here and take a look. Our new energy vehicle uses the same battery as the one next door, and our technology is purely imported from Japan. In addition, I want to tell you that our journey is at least 100 kilometers longer than the one next door. Guangfeng Automobile sales staff handed out flyers and recommended it to everyone, and soon many people gathered around. How much does this car cost? Why is the body a bit thin? The safety performance is a bit poor. Is this car in mass production? When can I buy it? Migo walked to the booth. Because he was wearing sunglasses, few people could recognize him. So Jiang Chen sat in and experienced it himself. I have to say that this Guangfeng new energy vehicle is not bad in some designs. However, its body continues the two standard policy of joint venture cars. The body of this car is very light, which means that the quality is definitely not the same as that of Japan. It is precisely because of its light body that it can run 100 to 200 miles more than the car next door with the same battery. Our car is only priced at 330,000 yuan, and that's the price you get. If you place an order today, you can pick up the car tomorrow. Also, unlike foreign car companies, Guangfeng Automobile is targeting the Chinese market, and our partner, Sahara Battery Group, heard that we serve Chinese people, so they specially approved a separate battery production line for us. So the batteries next door are not enough, and we can't use up all the batteries. The Guangfeng Automobile salesperson said something nice, but many of his words were false. In particular, the partner Sahara TV Group approved a production line for him because he was patriotic, which was absolutely bragging. Jiang Chen knew better than anyone why Guangfeng Automobile was able to get enough batteries to maintain the development of its new energy vehicles. Sahara Battery Group urgently needed money to build battery production and assembly workshops around the world, and at the same time, it wanted to plug in batteries to further squeeze the living space of other batteries and then expand its own market and influence. So after research, Sahara Battery Group proposed a plan to build a battery production line with other car companies. This plan includes building 3 production lines in China with Guangfeng Automobile, building 4 production lines in the United States with Futech, and building battery production lines with car companies in Japan, India, and Europe. Jiang Chen is willing to build battery production lines with these car companies because Sahara Battery Group cannot obtain relevant approvals from their countries. But Jiang Chen wants to enter the markets of these countries, so he can only cooperate with car companies in these countries. Don't miss it. If you pass by, you only need 350,000 to own a green license plate car that can be driven anywhere in Shanghai, Beijing, etc. And the new Sahara battery is in unlimited supply, which is the advantage of our Futech automobile. Going forward is the exhibition hall of Futech Automobile, which are all mainstream car companies in the world and at home. And without exception, the battery brands co-operated by these mainstream car companies have become the first generation of batteries of Sahara Battery Group. Of course, the fact that Sahara Battery Group can enter various car companies so quickly is also due to the advantage of Sahara Automobile in the last Beijing Auto Show. Brother Jiang, look at the mainstream car companies in the world. They have a long-term vision. Look over there. Even the niche car group that has its own battery production line has abandoned its own battery production line and switched to our Sahara battery, Guanku said proudly, and Jiang Chen nodded. Whoever does not keep up with the times and whoever cannot keep up with the market trend will only face the fate of being eliminated. Very good. If Sahara Battery Group is given 2 years, it will be able to occupy 80% of the market. Although many large companies now use American Sahara batteries, many domestic cars and low-cost cars still use other batteries. For example, the car companies next to the attached roads on both sides of the exhibition hall include Dainio Automobile, Tengfei Automobile, Dali Automobile and other automobile companies. The prices of new energy vehicles of these automobile companies are very low. Generally, the price of cars using Sahara batteries is more than 300,000, while the price of these cars is generally between 50,000 and 120,000. Of course, not all domestic cars use these inferior batteries. International brands such as Bide, Habbo, and Geely all use Sahara batteries. Walking from the entrance to the Sahara Auto Show Center in the center of the entire exhibition hall, there are 7 auto companies in the middle. Brother Jiang, our showroom is in the front. Our showroom is the largest and best located in the entire exhibition hall. After Guanku finished speaking, a square showroom suddenly appeared in the center, and the decoration in the showroom was extremely luxurious. Not only that, there were nearly 30 cars in the showroom, and there was a model with a very good figure and appearance next to each car. It's not enough to have models. In order to make Sahara cars a hit, Guanku also invited nearly 20 stars from China and Hanshao in the Sahara region to help cut the ribbon. Moreover, each model of Shay automobile has a celebrity with very high traffic and popularity to endorse it, and all the celebrities invited for this model also rushed to the scene. Chapter 687. This is definitely a hit. Opposite the Sahara Auto Showroom, there are also several relatively independent large exhibition areas. These exhibition areas include the Niche Auto Group, which has a very high market share. The Niche Auto Group is definitely a king brand between 100,000 and 300,000. He has launched several cars that are the best in the market. So Chairman Lee specially arranged a particularly large exhibition area for them. In addition to niche cars, the world's top auto brand companies are Toyota, Honda, GM, Daimler, Dongyi Domestic, Huaksha 4, Beolu, Mercedes-Benz, etc. Of course, among these brand auto companies, there is also the devour Auto Group. Chairman Lee also specially arranged the devour Auto Group between the Niche Auto and Sahara Auto. Of course, this time, the devour Auto Group is not willing to lag behind and has prepared 5 new models and 3 new energy vehicles. President Lee is here. Could you please give us your opinion on this auto show? President Lee, there are so many new models at the Shanghai Auto Show. Which automaker do you think is the best? Which models? President Lee, I'm from the Auto Entertainment News. I'd like to ask if it's intentional to put the showrooms of designated drivers and Sahara Auto together. Many reporters surrounded President Lee. As he walked towards Sahara Auto, he said to the reporters, I'm very satisfied with this auto show. If you insist on me recommending a few models, I think you can come with me and take a look. The people who were looking at cars around, the organizer of the one-day car show, and the famous auto critic, all hurriedly swarmed towards Sahara Auto after President Lee appeared. After all, if they had President Lee's recommendation, they wouldn't suffer much loss, even if they bought a car. Moreover, most of these car buyers were novices, and they didn't know much about cars. Okay, everyone, be quiet for a moment. Don't crowd over here. If you want to see Chairman Lee's recommendations, go to the various intersections in the exhibition hall. There are very large TVs there. We have our own reporters and filming teams in the exhibition hall. They will film Chairman Lee's explanation videos on TV. We are going to recommend a few cars first. You may not have heard of this brand. Its name is Sahara Automobile. Speaking of Sahara Automobile, some people may have the impression that they defeated Stella in the car competition last year. Of course, I don't mean to deliberately slander Stella here. Did the batteries of Strass bicycles beat the cars of Sahara Automobile Group at the end of last year? But if you want to buy Stella this year, you can buy it with confidence, because all 3 new Stella cars use Sahara batteries. In addition, in the field of new energy vehicles, I have a few more recommendations for you. You can go and have a look at FAT, Zionich Automobile, Guangfeng Automobile, because all these car companies use Sahara batteries. After Chairman Lee finished speaking, a reporter took the microphone and asked Chairman Lee, why do you repeatedly emphasize that it is Sahara's battery? We have never heard of Sahara's battery. You have never heard of it, which proves that you don't know much about cars. You are an outsider. Our new energy vehicles are about endurance. For ordinary batteries, how far can they run on a single charge? More than 300 kilometers? Can they still run 300 kilometers in winter? I believe everyone knows it. In addition, the battery life is about the number of years of use. According to authoritative tests, Sahara's batteries can be used at least 2 to 3 years longer than ordinary batteries. And let me tell you again, you all know that Stella used Xiaosong batteries in the past, but now there are no Xiaosong batteries. Xiaosong batteries are the current Sahara batteries. After Chairman Lee finished speaking, many people suddenly realized it. Indeed, in terms of batteries, especially new energy batteries, many people know Samsung batteries, but don't know Sahara batteries. President Lee, do you have any recommendations for non-new energy vehicles? There are many choices for non-new energy vehicles. You can go and have a look at every company that can participate in the auto show. By the way, I want to introduce you to a car brand company. Follow me and have a look. After saying this, President Lee walked to the Sahara Auto Exhibition Hall. At this moment, almost everyone's eyes were focused on the Sahara Auto Exhibition Hall. Not only the people at the auto show, but also tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of people on various live broadcasting auto websites were paying attention to this matter. Everyone, come and have a look. These are the 30 new models that Sahara Automobile has just launched. This is the Pagani series, this is the Sahara Automobile series, and this is the Sapphire series. Now let me give you a detailed introduction. The Pagani series is a new series of models created by the Italian Pagani sports car group. These cars include Pagani handmade sports cars, Pagani mass-produced sports cars, and Pagani's high-end sedans and off-road vehicles. Everyone can come and have a look. For example, this newly launched Pagani top-level sedan. This sedan is divided into two models. The first one is a new energy vehicle, and the second one is a non-new energy vehicle. You can see how streamlined the design of these sports cars is, and more importantly, the safety and comfort of Pagani's top-level sedans are definitely the kings of the same price. When a group of people came to visit Pagani's high-end sedans, the president of Times Asia Automobile and the presidents of several other cars all walked towards Sahara Automobile. They also took a lot of money to participate in the auto show. How could President Lee not be angry when he recommended an unknown car brand at this time? Chairman Lee, you are so reckless and you advertise for an unknown car company. How much did you get from them? After the president of devour Automobile finished speaking, the dozen bodyguards surrounding him had already driven away the people around him. This guy was extremely afraid of death. He didn't want to participate in this auto show, but he heard that Jiang Chen would be there in person, so he felt it necessary to have a head-on confrontation with Jiang Chen. After Park Chang-gu finished speaking, Chairman Lee frowned. For this person who seduced the Chinese girl and made her commit suicide, anyone would want to tear him into pieces, not to mention that Chairman Lee is a Chinese with a conscience. President Park, what you said is really unpleasant. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not targeting the DR group. Your cars are just not as good as Sahara Auto. And I say this with my own conscience and my personal reputation. There is absolutely no falsehood in what I say. In addition, all the media present here, and all the friends watching TV and websites, if I take a penny from Sahara Auto Group to make this advertisement for them, then I will be struck by lightning and have no descendants. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 688, Admit Defeat. How embarrassing. Chairman Lee's posts are eye-catching. It's rare to see someone curse himself to advertise for others these days. What's more, others don't give him a penny for advertising. So if he really puts his reputation in the automotive industry on the line to recommend it to everyone, then this car will definitely not be too bad. After Chairman Lee finished speaking, Park Chang-gu, the vice president of the devour group, looked a little embarrassed. He knew that Chinese people like to make money, but he never expected that there are such people with integrity in France. You said his car is worse than my car, so is his car better than my car? In what way do you say my car is not as good as his? Although Park Chang-gu was a little embarrassed, he had to stand up because the slap hit his face. If he wanted to admit defeat at this moment, then devour Automobile would be blind in the Korean market. The cars of devour Automobile Group are not as good as Sahara Automobile in all aspects. Let's not talk about anything else. From the safety, performance, comfort, fuel consumption, environmental protection, and price, you are not good at anything. After Chairman Lee finished speaking, Park Chang-gu's face became even uglier. Being told that one thing is not good enough, this guy actually said that he is not as good as Sahara Auto in all aspects. How can he save his face? Moreover, their devour Auto has been in the automotive industry for decades. How can they not be as good as a car brand that has only been in the automotive industry for 2 years? So when seeing President Lee say that he is not good enough, Kyo Chang-yu, the vice president of devour Group, became furious. Since you said so, do you dare to bet with me? Speaking of betting, Jiang Chen took off his sunglasses and walked over. Duh. It's fine that you wantonly bully us Chinese in Hanchao country, but how can we Chinese tolerate your arrogance in China? Just tell me, what do you dare to bet with me? After Jiang Chen stood up, the whole exhibition hall was instantly in an uproar. Compare with him. Damn. devour automobile bullied Zai Yi in Hanchao country, and even came to doubt the character of us Chinese people. Fuck him. devour automobile, get out of China. Whoever buys devour automobile is not a Chinese. Chinese people with blood, stand up, compete with the stick. Even if we lose, we will buy Sahara automobile. We will support our own brand, and sooner or later we will overthrow the whole world. Jiang Chen can no longer be defined as just an internet celebrity. He has become a spiritual idol for many people. Now many people are used to using Sahara products, watching Sahara news, watching Sahara TV. Because Sahara products, including medicines, fresh milk and various foods, are symbols of quality and health. Just like Sahara's news client and Sahara's website, they are all synonymous with quality media. So when everyone saw Jiang Chen appear at the auto show, and appeared at the moment when he was bullied by others, many people's blood was ignited. Everyone, be quiet. China is a country ruled by law. We cannot let others look down on us. Everyone, keep quiet. If he wants to compete with us, we will compete with him to the end. Now we will guarantee it with our Beijing auto show. What do you want to compete with, President Park? Just ask. At this moment, President Park was also frightened by the situation around him. In his eyes, all Chinese people were like dogs who were constantly being trampled under his crotch and dared not say a word. He never expected that this group of people who were poorer and more backward than Hanchao country would be so bloody. Compare anything. Since you say we are inferior to him in every way, let's pick out cars of the same price and find different people to experience it. Let's let the customers speak. Do you dare? After President Park finished speaking, the CEOs of niche cars, Baolo and Mercedes-Benz behind him also nodded in agreement. Yes, we can guarantee you. We will rate you as customers in a fair and just manner. Do you think it's okay? After the CEOs of Baolo and Xiaohang Automobile finished speaking, Chairman Lee looked at Jiang Chen behind him, and Jiang Chen nodded. Chairman Lee looked at Chairman Park again. When Chairman Park saw that they were from other automobile groups, he also nodded. Now most of the people in the entire exhibition hall are Chinese, so they will definitely favor Jiang Chen, but the car owners he acquired are different. Although these car owners cannot stand from a fair and just perspective, but they certainly don't want a new car brand that can threaten their status to appear. So Park Chang-yu said to Chairman Lee, okay, they are all people who understand cars, so let them rate everyone. When do we start? All my cars can be used as test samples. Start at any time. All my cars can be used as samples. Everyone can pick whatever you want. In front of the cold wave Chinese, Jiang Chen can't be timid. What's more, this man was the culprit who killed Zai Yi. When Jiang Chen thought of how he tortured Zai Yi at night, he wanted to tear him into pieces. Okay, let's start now, so that some people won't go back and make a name for themselves. After President Lee finished speaking, he deliberately glanced at Park Chang-yu, who became even angrier. What do you mean? Only Chinese people would do such despicable things. Park Chang-yu had just finished speaking in anger, and he regretted it in an instant, because this is China, not the cold tide country. Here, no one will tolerate him. Go and beat him up. Go. Don't move. Don't lose the tradition of our country of etiquette in front of your grandson. After Chairman Lee and others finished shouting, Jiang Chen also came out to stop them and said, this is a grudge between him and me. Let's solve it in a fair and just way. In addition, don't worry, if I lose face for the Chinese people, I will jump off the building today. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, a group of people pointed at Park Chang-gu and shouted, "If you lose today, you fucking jump off the building too." That's right. If the cold tide country doesn't sentence you to death as a rapist, we won't forgive you. After a group of people finished shouting, Chairman Lee hurriedly shouted, "Everyone be quiet. I call on you. If devour automobile loses, we will buy Sahara automobile. We will boycott him and make them withdraw from China." At this moment, Chairman Lee didn't want a murder to happen at his own auto show. After all, he is a businessman, and businessmen make money by being harmonious. Okay, if he loses, everyone will boycott him. After a group of people shouted, Park Chang-gu, under the protection of his bodyguards, instantly felt that the situation was not good. Because devour automobile is also a competitor of Xiaoniche automobile, they must want to exclude themselves from China. So, will these idiots plot behind the scenes? Okay, but Sahara automobile is going to lose. If you have any shame, get out of the mainland market. In addition, for the sake of fairness, I require that a few foreigners be randomly selected to participate in the test drive rating. Chapter 689, I'm the last one. Park Chang-gu proposed a new requirement, which was adopted by Chairman Lee and others. The competition was about to start. Chairman Lee first asked the vice chairman to contact the factory. At the same time, he discussed the rules with several CEOs of Beolu, Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover and Xiao's Han Group. After discussing for a long time, a group of people formed a judging panel headed by Chairman Lee, and then found several foreigners at the auto show as judges. At the same time, in order to attract camera shots, and to turn things around, many companies that lost to Sahara Auto also participated. In the afternoon, the vice chairman settled the competition center. The competition center was at an off-road base outside the city. The business here was not good because of the winter storm, so the vice chairman quickly negotiated. At 1 o'clock, several large trucks transported the participating cars to the stadium. Dozens of media from all walks of life gathered on both sides of the stadium. These media not only include Chinese media, but also reporters from other regions such as Hanshao country and the United States. So this event is an international event, and it can even be said that it is an event that reshuffles the automotive industry. Now I declare that the World Brand Car Satisfaction Competition of the Shanghai Auto Show has officially begun. The first competition we will conduct is about non-new energy vehicles with a price of about 200,000 yuan. The competition for fuel vehicles will compete in safety, comfort, fuel volume and environmental protection. When everyone arrived, President Lee read out the start of the competition. Then the referee team announced several car companies participating in this competition. Now I announce that the participating companies are Xiao's Han Automobile, Guangfeng Automobile, Xianbin Automobile, Fut Automobile, Sahara Automobile and devour Automobile. After the referee announced, the 6 referees got on the car. The first is the competition in terms of comfort and fuel saving. The principle of the competition is that the 6 referees test drive 6 cars respectively, then score, and finally calculate the average score. After the competition started, the referees opened the door and entered the car. At the moment of opening the door, the foreigner who was test driving the Sahara time model frowned immediately. Then enter the door, accelerator, accelerate, and try to change gears after the vehicle starts running, and finally pass through the sand, steep slopes, and muddy sections, and then stop smoothly. After stopping, each referee changed cars for test drives. Almost everyone who tested the Sahara time could not help but frown. Then, when passing through the woods smoothly, facing the faint sunset, they could not help but open the window and turn on the music. After several rounds of test drives, it was already late in the evening. The next step was the collision test of safety performance, which was operated by the Automobile Association, and the media participated in the whole process. After the collision test, several cars were almost broken. When all the test results came out, it was already 8 o'clock in the evening, and 8 o'clock in the evening was the time when all the returning workers went home to eat and rest. So at this time, more and more people chose to turn on the TV or news to relax. At this moment, as long as you click on the news or TV, an advertisement pop-up window will pop up without exception. Sahara Automobile Jiang Chen vs. Hancheo Guodeya Automobile Park Shanghai. Who will win this battle to defend the dignity of the country? The answer will be revealed soon. Many people can't help but click in to see it after seeing the two words Jiang Chen. Especially the Sahara TV and Sahara video, which broadcast the live broadcast of the Shangjing Association and the audience of Sahara Live. At this moment, they gathered in twas and threes, waiting for the announcement of the results with serious and nervous faces. The results of the 8-hour competition are officially out. Let me read out the final scores. When Zhang Song, the chairman of the notary office, read out the results on the judges' bench, everyone held their breath. Although Jiang Chen was very confident in himself, he was also a little nervous. The first place is Xiao's Han Auto. Xiao's Han Auto's comprehensive score is 92. Let us congratulate Xiao's Han Auto. After Zhang Song read out the first place, Xiao's Han Auto's CEO stood up proudly and waved to the press corps. Yes, they are indeed the king of this segment. This is an indisputable fact. Let us announce the second place. The second place is Guangfeng Auto. Guangfeng Auto has a great advantage in fuel consumption and also won the affirmation of the judges in vehicle design. After Zhang Song read out the results, Jiang Chen couldn't help but frowned. If he said that he was not the first, Jiang Chen could barely accept it in his heart, but if he said that he was not even as good as Guangfeng, then Jiang Chen would definitely not agree. What's going on? How can Guangfeng be better than our time series? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Guangku also frowned. It shouldn't be. Our time series focuses on comfort and audio. Also, although our time series is priced at 230,000 yuan, the quality is completely comparable to that of 300,000 to 400,000 yuan. Guangku was right. Now is the year for Sahara Automobile to build its brand, especially in the domestic market. They are absolutely conscientious. The designer Pagani Coupe designers, the audio of Naso, the engine of Xianbin, and the body of Sahara Light Steel. Even the tires are acquired by the world's top 3 tire companies. How can it be better than Guangfeng Automobile? After the president of Sahara Automobile Group finished speaking, Jiang Chen frowned even more. Keep watching. I don't believe we will be behind Deya. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Chairman Leon the Rostrum also frowned. He has really test-driven the Sahara Automobile Time series, and this car is definitely the king of this price. Whether it is its engine or body, it is a symbol of quality. There are also stereos, color-changing windows and windshields. Passing through forests, grasslands, and plateaus, listening to music, and looking at the color-changing scenery outside the window. It is definitely a journey through time just like its name. Therefore, President Lee even thought that driving this car would make you fall in love with traveling and driving, and this is definitely not the rating of the Time Series sedan. Let us announce the third place. The third place is Xianbin Automobile. Xianbin Automobile and its engine have always been well received. The fourth place is FAT, and the fifth place is Deya Automobile. Unfortunately, Sahara Automobile ranks last in this round. After Zhang Song finished speaking, the whole venue was in an uproar. Lose. How is it possible? Sahara products must be fine products. Why this time? After all, it's still too young. Automobiles really can't be effective in 1 or 2 years. Hey, the hearts of the whole country are broken. After various media reported it, the Chinese people in front of the TV or mobile phones were indeed angry. This is no longer just a competition between Jiang Chen and Deya Automobile. This is a competition between the Chinese and the Hancheo country. They cannot allow failure. Therefore, after learning the result, many people threw their phones in anger, and many people cried while holding their phones. Indeed, no one could accept this last place result. Chapter 690. The Frost-Tide Nation is in jubilation. After the competition, the news reached Hancheo country, and the whole country of Hancheo was jubilant. Even Hancheo country President Choi Sung-ho couldn't help but send a tweet to mock Jiang Chen for wanting to sanction Hancheo country. You can't even build a car. Is this the true strength of Central Asia? At the Shangjing Auto Show Center, Park Chang-gai walked straight to Jiang Chen and raised his little finger to Jiang Chen. At this moment, all the media captured this scene, and all the netizens were angry, but they could only hold back their anger, so the whole venue was silent. You can't do it. Comparing with me in building a car, you are a grandson. You are just like Zai Yi. You can only kneel on the ground and shout like a dog. Fuck me. You are so good. Hancheo country's stick is so good. So cool. Haha, get out of China. Park Chang-gai said with a smug smile on his face. He could already see that Jiang Chen was spurned by the entire Chinese people because he lost face and was boycotted and bankrupted. Chairman Lee, I doubt the authenticity of the result. Also, jury, I would like to ask you all to test drive it. If you get the same result as those people who lied with their eyes open, then I will quit the automotive industry. Jiang Chen ignored Park Chang-gai. He stood up and looked directly at the jury. The jury consisted of several presidents of various groups. They were the ones who knew cars the most. Everyone go and give it a try. Chairman Lee thought about it and suggested it to everyone. But at this moment, Park Chang-gai shouted to everyone, Chairman Lee, what's the matter? Are you playing rogue now that the result is out? Where is your backbone just now? Being fickle is a mean person. If you can't afford to lose, then don't be the chairman. After Park Chang-gai finished speaking, Chairman Lee's face was blue and purple, and his fists were clenched and creaked, but he loosened his fists after a moment. I invite everyone to test drive the car. In addition, President Park, please test drive the car once as well. If you all insist on counting down for Sahara Automobile, then I will immediately resign as the chairman of the Shangjing Automobile Association. After President Lee finished speaking, the people on the stage saw that Jiang Chen and President Lee were so determined, and they also walked down the stage to test drive the car. After all, this is Shangjing. If they don't give face to President Lee, I'm afraid their cars will not sell well. First, the CEO of Xiao's Han Group frowned the moment he opened the car door, then got in the car, moved around, and frowned again. When the car passed through the mud very steadily, he frowned again. It was not until the car drove to the winding road in the forest that he couldn't help turning on the music, rolling down the window, driving with one hand, and couldn't help knocking on the glass. The car stopped, and then several other CEOs took the test drive. Almost everyone was like the CEO of Xiao's Hong, even Park Chang-gai of Jiang Automobile Group. At the end of the test drive, everyone gave the same result, 0 points. After seeing the result, Jiang Chen burst into laughter. Sure enough, this group of people. Forget it, I didn't expect that you also don't understand cars and people. Haha, you can also call yourself a car person. After Jiang Chen couldn't help but sigh, Roberts, president of the luxury car brand Baolu Group, looked at Jiang Chen and said, no, you bully us for not understanding cars. We know you want to win, but making cars is like being a person, and you emphasize integrity. You shouldn't pretend that a car worth 600,000 or 700,000 yuan is worth more than 200,000 yuan to compete in order to win. So you broke your promise first. You bullied us for not understanding cars first, so we can only give you 0 points. After Roberts finished speaking, William, who was in charge of quality inspection, also took a quality inspection report and said, this is the result of the collision test. After our collision test, the time car was completely deformed after 6 or 7 aggravated collisions. The car that can use this kind of steel has reached the presidential customization price. You said you sold it for more than 200,000 yuan, and no one would believe it. Therefore, our evaluation agency also gave you 0 points. After the boss of the Quality Inspection Center finished speaking, a judge also stood up and said, the acceleration, engine noise, color changing glass and other aspects of this time are not in this price range. So our review team unanimously gave it 0 points. After the judges finished speaking, Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. Fuck, what is this operation? I got 0 points, just because the car is too good, and sold too cheaply? Damn, this is my low-end car. Sorry, if you give me 0 points, because of my good quality and high cost performance, I feel very sorry. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the originally silent venue suddenly burst into cheers. Oppose, what the hell are the judges? Oppose 0 points. Support Sahara Automobile. At this moment, not only in the venue, but also in various parts of China, the people in various cities of Sahara were cheered up in an instant, after retreating from mourning. Even many people who smashed their phones didn't know what happened. They could only look around blankly. Everyone, be quiet. Judges, if the price of this car is really more than 200,000, does it mean that Sahara automobile has won? Chairman Lee took over 3 or 4 microphones and pointed them at the judges present. A judge looked at Chairman Lee and nodded and said, yes, if he really sold it for more than 200,000, then he won. However, I don't think he dared to sell it like this because it doesn't make any money at all. Indeed, this car sells for 230,000. After deducting the cost and after sales service, Jiang Chen can only make 30,000 to 50,000 per car. However, is Jiang Chen trying to make money from cars at this moment? You lose. The price of this car is 230,000. And, if it sells for 230,000, I still make money. Jiang Chen said loudly, and the scene burst into applause again. Many of them applauded and forgot about the car. They were just excited to win against the cold tide country. From now on, brothers and sisters on TV and on the internet, as long as you go to the 4S store to pick up the car, there is a car in stock. The value is 600,000 or 700,000, and I only sell it for 230,000. In addition, all my cars are the same price as devour automobile are 3 times better than it in performance. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, he suddenly realized that he had to thank this group of judges. He actually inadvertently gave himself a huge advertisement. From today on, the boycott of devour automobile starts with me. I smashed your devour cars and gave you a 50,000 discount at Sahara Automobile 4S store. Guanju also stood up and shouted, and soon the whole stadium was jubilant. Boycott devour automobile. Devour get out of China. Revenge for Ziyi. Clean up all devour 4S stores. When the shouts came one after another, when people wanted to beat Park Chang-gyu, the culprit, they could not find his trace. At night, it was a complete carnival. When Chairman Lee announced that Sahara automobile won, the crowd was boiling. In the noisy crowd, a gunshot suddenly rang out, and a bullet flew towards Jiang Chen. Guanku almost subconsciously pushed Jiang Chen down, and he fell to the ground in an instant. Gun. Get down. President Lee shouted, and hurriedly pulled Jiang Chen to hide behind the Shigwon test car. In the crowd, several people in black clothes fired more than a dozen shots at Jiang Chen, before turning around and leaving. Chapter 691 You bully us, because we don't know cars. There were at least 1,000 people at the stadium. As the gunshots rang out, the entire stadium was in chaos. Chairman Lee and others protected Jiang Chen and hid behind the time car. A group of CEOs clung to the car body and gasped in fear. Quick, get in the car and hide. After Chairman Lee shouted, Smith opened the car door. Chairman Lee hurriedly pulled Jiang Chen and wanted to get in the car. CEO Guan. Damn, let me go, I'm going to save people. Several gunmen pulled their guns so unexpectedly that Jiang Chen had no time to react, but now that he had reacted, they were the ones who should be killed. Don't, Xiao Jiang, didn't you notice that those people were coming for you? That's right, don't bother with that guy, others won't waste bullets on him. After Smith finished speaking, a motorcycle came running from a distance, carrying a gunman wearing a helmet. The gunman was very burly and tall, and it could be seen that he was not of the yellow race. Hurry up and get in the car, they're coming. After Chairman Lee shouted, the gunman in the distance had already pulled out his gun and was about to shoot Jiang Chen again. All of you move away, the farther the safer. Bang, when a bullet came towards the car door, Jiang Chen kicked Chairman Lee away, and the bullet hit the place where Chairman Lee dodged with a thud. Fuck. After Chairman Lee cursed in shock, the gunman fired 2 more shots, and Jiang Chen reacted quickly and dodged. However, Smith was not so lucky. A bullet hit his, but directly with a whiz. You get off first, I'll kill them. After Jiang Chen pushed Smith out of the car door, he closed the door and started to reverse. Needless to say, these people must be the killers that Secretary Fang mentioned. But Jiang Chen didn't expect that this group of people would dare to take action in Shangjing. It's really lawless. Brother Jiang. Guanku endured the pain in his waist and shouted at Jiang Chen. He wanted to stop Jiang Chen from acting impulsively, but how could Jiang Chen hear it? Bang. The fast-moving motorcycle never expected that Jiang Chen would dare to fight back. So when a car came crashing backwards like a flying car, the motorcyclist was hit by Jiang Chen before he could dodge. After the motorcycle was knocked away, Jiang Chen saw 5 more motorcycles coming from the stadium through the rearview mirror. The riders on those motorcycles pulled out their guns and pointed them at Jiang Chen. There are so many people. Haha, are you all going to die for 50 million? But after thinking about it, it is true that you can die. After all, many people's lives are really not worth 50 million. Bang. A few gunshots were heard, and a few bullets instantly hit the rear window of the car. Fuck, bulletproof glass. After the people on the motorcycle cursed a few words, Jiang Chen had already made a sharp turn and turned the front of the car to crash into a motorcycle. In this day and age, these people want to kill me, so how can I let them go? Jiang Chen wants to let all the killers know that if you want to kill me, Jiang Chen, no matter how powerful your organization is, you will die. Bang. Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator, and the time acceleration reached nearly 200 in just a dozen seconds. Then there was a loud bang, and the motorcycle carrying people was directly hit by Jiang Chen's car and flew away. The motorcycle flew for more than 100 meters before it stopped, and the killer on the motorcycle was flattened. After killing 2 motorcycles in a row, the other 4 motorcycles saw that the operation failed, so they turned around and ran away in a hurry. After all, if they didn't run away, they would be completely finished when the flying tigers from Beijing arrived. Several motorcycle killers wanted to leave, but Jiang Chen didn't want to let them go. The racetrack is located in the suburbs of the city, so the road here is very wide, and there are very few cars here, so Jiang Chen accelerated and chased after them. Bang bang bang. The people on the motorcycle kept turning back and shooting at Jiang Chen, and Jiang Chen's windshield was hit by 3 or 4 bullets. Fortunately, this kind of glass is Sahara automotive glass. Although its strength is not as good as the system glass, it is comparable to ordinary bulletproof glass. Therefore, the bullet did not penetrate the windshield, and Jiang Chen accelerated and chased him on the road. From the stadium to the countryside outside the 6th ring road, and then to the town, Jiang Chen chased for half an hour, and then the motorcycle team on the opposite side separated at a fork in the road. As soon as the team separated, Jiang Chen's phone rang. This was not the first time it rang, but Jiang Chen had not answered it. Hello, brother Jiang, we have located you. There are special police ready on the road ahead of you to Sukang town. After Guan Ku finished speaking, Jiang Chen turned the steering wheel and chased in another direction. Less than 10 minutes after chasing, a farmer's market appeared in front of them. The farmer's market was filled with various fruits, chickens, ducks and other things on both sides. The 2 riders rode towards the market without hesitation. This is a market in the rural suburbs of Shangjing. There are many people in the market, and the market is very narrow. If a motorcycle wants to rush through, it will hit someone, not to mention Jiang Chen's car. And there is another point, these motorcycle killers are desperate people. They don't have to be responsible if they hit someone to death. After all, if they can't be caught, they will flee the country. But Jiang Chen couldn't do that. If he killed someone, people would boycott his scenic spot and then his Sahara group in the future, and Jiang Chen would be finished. Fuck. The car braked suddenly before rushing to the farmer's market. Jiang Chen finally controlled his impulse. Hey, President Guan, have you caught the people who ran to Sukang town? After the car stopped, Jiang Chen called Guan Ku directly. Now he couldn't catch the 2 motorcycle killers he was chasing, but as long as he could catch the others, it would not be difficult to find out the real culprit behind the scenes. They didn't listen to the dissuasion and wanted to rush through the checkpoint. In order to prevent more people from being killed, the special police have already shot them dead. After Guan Ku on the other end of the phone finished speaking, Jiang Chen was so angry that he punched the steering wheel. If he shot them this time, he wouldn't be able to find out anything. Brother Jiang, what's going on over there? We've contacted the special police to surround your area. Don't come, they ran away. Jiang Chen said in annoyance, and suddenly his car window knocked. Jiang Chen looked up and saw an old farmer carrying a basket to sell cabbage. I don't want to buy cabbage. At this time, he actually came to sell his own cabbage. Is there something wrong with your eyes? Jiang Chen was speechless. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the old farmer knocked a few more times. Jiang Chen looked up at him. The vegetable farmer in his 60s still looked nervous. Jiang Chen was originally a working people, so no matter how angry he was, he couldn't vent his anger on the people. After all, he just got rich, and people can't forget their roots. What's wrong? I don't want to buy vegetables. Well, that police comrade, I really didn't kill that man, so don't call to arrest me. The man hit my carrying pole by himself, and then he hit the fish knife by himself. So, I didn't kill that man, and it has nothing to do with me. After the old vegetable farmer said this, a group of people rushed up from behind him and quickly surrounded him. Chapter 692, The Depressed Fish Killer. Yang Laozhen, where are you running? You killed someone, and you still want to run away. Catch him. Send him to the police station. This man comes here to sell vegetables every day. If you sell them every day, how can we who have rented a stall sell our vegetables? Come on, you killed someone this time. Let's see how you can sell vegetables. I didn't kill anyone. You all saw it. I just thought Guansheng was coming, so I was carrying my load, and he bumped into my load. Besides, he flew onto the knife that was used to kill fish and died. How can you blame me? After the old vegetable farmer finished speaking, he held his carrying pole horizontally and wanted to fight with the people who were trying to catch him. A group of people gathered around and snatched his carrying pole, especially the strong man who was smelling of fish. The fishy smelling sturdy man rolled up his wet sleeves and grabbed the vegetable farmer's arm while angrily scolding. What are you talking about? My knife was placed there perfectly. You knocked down the man's motorcycle and he hit my knife on the stool and died. I was standing in front of my fish stall without moving. How can you say that I killed him? The fishmonger finished speaking, and the vegetable farmer pushed the fishmonger away and said, he hit me by himself. If you didn't put the knife there, would it be okay? Also, don't force me. There are 2 kids going to school there. If anyone forces me, my kids won't be able to go to school, and I'll fight you to death. Before he could finish speaking, Jiang Chen was instantly happy when he heard that the killer on the motorcycle was killed by the vegetable farmer. Sure enough, even God would not let such a conscienceless person go. Stop it. Where is the person? Bring him here. When a group of people wanted to fight, Jiang Chen stopped them. When the group saw that Jiang Chen was chasing the 2 people on the motorcycle, they thought Jiang Chen was the legendary policeman. After all, if you watch too many movies, you will have this illusion. One ran away, and the other person on the motorcycle was killed by this one. The person on the motorcycle also hit the wall and fainted. That's right, you must take this old man away, he is very bad. After a group of vegetable sellers finished speaking, the vegetable seller, the old farmer, was already anxious and about to cry. After all, judging from his age, he is a person with little ability, and he has to provide for 2 children to go to school. The pressure is really great. Comrade police, I didn't kill anyone. It was really that he hit me just when I picked up the load. He crushed all my vegetables, and my flat belt was broken by him. I really didn't mean to kill him on purpose. You can't arrest me. If you arrest me, my children will really be finished. The children are innocent. Their fathers died on the front line while delivering food to the desert during the storm, and their mothers don't want them anymore. The children only rely on my little money to live. After the old vegetable farmer finished speaking, he was so scared that he trembled all over, but the others didn't seem to have the idea of letting him go. Aren't we pitiful? We rented a stall with great effort, and we only sell this little bit of vegetables every day. How much can we earn? You need to support your family, and we need to support our family too. It's wrong for you to disrupt the market order. Don't always talk about the desert storm. Your son died in the desert storm, and people also compensated you. It was your daughter-in-law who took the money away, so you deserve it. After a group of vegetable farmers competitors finished speaking, Jiang Chen always felt that what the old man said was familiar. They gave it during the winter storm. Could it be the border guards who delivered things to him during the last winter storm? If this is really the case, Jiang Chen really can't just sit back and watch. Don't be afraid, old man. This is not your fault. By the way, you said your son died on the way to deliver things to the desert. Was it the winter storm 4 years ago? After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the old vegetable farmer was so excited that his eyes were red that he knew it was not his fault. Thank you police for distinguishing right from wrong. It was 4 years ago that he died on the road delivering things to people in the desert now. After the old vegetable farmer finished speaking, Jiang Chen already knew almost everything. Needless to say, his son must have died on the way to deliver the supplies. Uncle, congratulations. The man you killed was a top-class fugitive. Please give me your WeChat. I will give you the reward for catching the fugitive. Jiang Chen scanned the old vegetable farmer's WeChat and transferred 1 million yuan to him. 1 million yuan is just a drop in the bucket for his family. 1 million yuan is an astronomical figure for a poor person. And 1 million yuan is enough for such a family to raise 2 children to adulthood. Okay, the money is transferred to you. Everyone, please help and throw those 2 people into my car. Also, uncle, don't sell vegetables here in the future. The vegetable market has its own management principles. You can stay at home and watch the 2 children go to school in the future. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, the management of the vegetable market directly transferred 1 million yuan to the old farmer, and he regretted it so much that his head almost hit the ground. This fugitive is actually worth so much money. If I had known, I would have killed him. What 1 million? This man died under my knife, so I also have half the credit. After the fishmonger finished speaking, he waved his hand at him and said, you admitted that you have it earlier. Everyone, hurry up and move the man to my car. I want to take him away immediately. The management of the vegetable market dared not neglect it. This man was the one who made a move of 1 million. What's more, this murder happened in their vegetable market, which was originally a very bad thing. But now this matter has evolved into a fugitive being captured and killed by brave vegetable market staff, which is completely different. So several vegetable market managers waved their hands and threw the 2 killers who were killed and knocked unconscious directly into Jiang Chen's trunk. Although 2 killers escaped, at least they brought 2 back with them, so this wave was not a loss. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator and rushed towards the Shangjing Serious Crime Squadron. The Shangjing Serious Crime Squad was in charge of the pursuit of the killer. When Jiang Chen arrived, Guan Ku, Chairman Li and others were recording their statements in the Serious Crime Squad. Yes, that's what happened. We suspect that this group of people was hired by Park Chang-gyu. Hurry up and arrest Park Chang-gyu. Don't let him leave the country. Jiang Chen saw Guan Ku from a distance. Seeing that Guan Ku only had a bandage on his arm, Jiang Chen's heart finally relaxed. President Guan. Jiang Chen shouted to President Guan. Hearing Jiang Chen's shout, Guan Ku turned around and became excited. Brother Jiang, you're back. Are you okay? Thank God. No one knows the significance of Jiang Chen to the desert better than Guan Cubic. If there is no Jiang Chen, the desert will have nothing. I'm fine. I caught 2 killers. One is dead and the other has been sent for rescue. When he wakes up, we will know who did it. Chapter 693. You're completely finished. If Jiang Chen finds out who wants to kill him, then this person will definitely die in a very rhythmic way. But, that's great. Shangjing is paying close attention to this matter now. These killers shot and killed 3 people at the competition site, and also beat a foreigner to death. The impact is particularly bad. After Guan Ku said this, Jiang Chen knew that Shangjing would definitely not be merciful this time. After the Shangjing Serious Crime Squadron learned about the relevant situation, Jiang Chen reported to the Shangjing Serious Crime Squadron how he chased and killed the killer. After the report, according to general requirements, Jiang Chen needed the court to rule that he was in self-defense before he could be acquitted. So Jiang Chen temporarily lived in the Serious Crime Squadron because it was definitely unrealistic to arrest someone of Jiang Chen's level and put him in a detention center. On the second day of Jiang Chen's stay in the Serious Crime Squadron, the killer woke up. After 2 days of interrogation by the Serious Crime Squadron, under the cruel interrogation, the killer finally confessed the facts after 3 failed suicide attempts. On the 4th day, China arrested Park Chang-gyu at the border, and the Devour group, where Park Chang-gyu belonged, filed a complaint with the Han Cheo country. Han Cheo country also proposed an extradition agreement to China. After all, the Devour group is one of the major pillar industries of Han Cheo country. and the current president of Hanchao country also has a close relationship with the devour group. When Hanchao country proposed an extradition agreement to China, Hanchao country thought that China would agree to extradition because it was afraid of its boss, the United States. But what he never expected was that Shangjing directly rejected their extradition agreement. And because the matter involved several other foreign tourists and caused a great response in China, the Shangjing High Court tried the matter on the third day after Park Chang-gai was arrested. After receiving the judgment, the president of the devour group was furious. All the shareholders in the conference room were silent, and the president of the devour group tore up the judgment and threw it on the ground. Damn, is Park Chang-gai a fool? Who told him to do it in Shangjing? And who said that the Navy SEALs are invincible? Invincible is bullshit, not even as good as a vegetable farmer. A senior vice president of the devour group picked up the judgment from the ground and put it back on the table. President, this incident has had a huge impact on us. Well, in the past few days, all cities in China have launched resistance activities against us. 2/3 of our 4S stores in various places have been smashed. In addition, there has been a rush to buy Sahara cars in China in the past few days. Our market has basically been taken away by him. Even Sahara cars, the remaining market has been taken away by those car manufacturers that cooperate with Sahara cars. President, I think we must withdraw from the Chinese market. Now because of the Park Chang-gai incident, the whole of China has launched a movement to resist the Hanchao country. In addition to the impact of the Ziyi incident, not only our cars, but also many of our domestic companies in China have been affected. Indeed, what they said was right. Before the judgment was issued, all cities in China launched a movement to resist the Hanchao country. Hanchao's cars, Hanchao's stores, and Hanchao's various companies were affected. In particular, several pillar industries of Hanchao, such as the devour automobile group and Xinxing mobile phones, were the most affected. It was unexpected for Jiang Chen to be affected by Xinxing group. The Park Chang-gai incident reminded people of the Ziyi incident. Coupled with the various hypes of the domestic high-end mobile phone brand Yaoli Group, the shipments of Xinxing mobile phones plummeted. However, at this moment, Jiang Chen still focused his main efforts on the devour automobile group. After this incident, devour automobile will definitely not be able to rise in the domestic market. So Jiang Chen wanted to take advantage of the fact that the world is paying attention to this matter and launch an attack on devour automobile group to the world. The first of this attack was that Jiang Chen proposed in Shangjing that no matter which country you buy Sahara cars in, as long as you smash your devour car, you will receive an additional subsidy of 50,000 to 70,000. In addition, when all the cars produced by devour group are of the same price as those produced by Sahara group, Shea Automobile will give an additional discount of 10,000 to 20,000. In addition, Jiang Chen also announced that all car brands, whoever cooperates with devour group, will be blacklisted by Sahara group. This blacklist includes that Sahara group will not provide new energy batteries to this car brand. In addition, Sahara Steel Group will not provide cooperation with this car brand in terms of automotive equipment. During the shooting incident of Jiang Chen, Sahara Glass Group, the window supplier of Sahara Auto, was also very happy and spread all over the world. Because at this moment, this incident attracted the attention of the whole world. After all, China is a place of right and wrong, and it is a place that attracts the attention of Westerners. Therefore, a 200,000 yuan car blocked so many bullets in the incident, and its glass was soon noticed by major automobile manufacturers. Therefore, Sahara Glass Group has received many cooperation requests from automobile manufacturers in the past few days. Therefore, Jiang Chen finally stated that Sahara Glass Group will terminate its cooperation with any automobile manufacturer that cooperates with devour automobile. After several statements were made, many car companies proposed that if their suppliers cooperate with devour automobile group, they will also terminate their cooperation with these suppliers. After all, if they can't get on the line of Sahara Glass Group, Sahara Steel and Sahara New Energy Battery Group, then even if they are brilliant companies, it will be difficult for them to gain an invincible position in such a fiercely competitive automobile industry. Of course, the reason why these car manufacturers broke up with their suppliers was because Jiang Chen promised them that Sahara Automobile was willing to cooperate with all car manufacturers for mutual benefit. After all, the glass, new energy batteries and other aspects of Sahara Automobile are definitely ultra-future technologies that these car companies on the earth cannot research. If Jiang Chen wants to dominate the world market, it will definitely be enough for these car manufacturers to eat apart. But Jiang Chen will not do this because he knows that many countries will have their own protection policies. These protection policies will make it difficult for him to enter these countries. But if he provides spare parts to these car manufacturers, then car manufacturers all over the world will come to help him make money. Another point is that the number of cars produced by Sahara Automobile Group is limited. If it is mass produced, the quality will definitely not keep up. So Jiang Chen wants his car brand to follow the same fine and high-end route as Pagani sports cars. Even if it is a low-end car, he lets everyone know that this is a low-end car produced by Sahara Automobile. Although it is cheap, it is not a car that you can buy with money. So once you make an appointment and buy this car, even if it is priced very low, you will still feel very proud when driving it on the street. Chapter 694, Super Cool Time. After the auto show, the Shangjing Auto Show Center specially purchased the time car driven by Jiang Chen. Although this car has been beaten to pieces, it is indeed a witness to the milestone of automobile quality. Therefore, the Shangjing Auto Show is preparing to collect this car and let all automobile companies participating in the Shangjing Auto Show in the future know that the quality of cars is the conscience. Spring passed quickly. Since the Shangjing Auto Show incident, many parts suppliers of devour Automobile have terminated their cooperation agreements with devour Automobile. After all, they can't lose a broader market in future because of a devour Automobile. In addition, with the various exclusions of Sahara Automobile and the unanimous boycott of other Sahara Automobile allies, devour Automobile's winter abroad has really arrived. In midsummer, devour Automobile finally chose to withdraw from the Chinese market because of zero sales in China for several months. Then, more and more manufacturers chose Sahara Glass, Sahara Star Energy Battery and Sahara Automobile Steel with better quality. The devour group, which could not be updated in quality, soon lost its advantage. Therefore, the market of devour Automobile was soon seized by various automobile brands. Of course, these were not enough to completely ruin devour Auto. At the end of summer, devour Auto only had the domestic and African markets left. In China, devour Auto was also despised by the people because of the Ziyi incident and the Beijing Auto Show incident. After Dalian Auto Company saw this opportunity, they contacted Jiang Chen through an official of Hanqiao nationality who worked in Future City. At the end of summer, at the Future City Immigration Center, Jiang Chen met with Jin Haoming, the president of devour Auto. In the office, Jin Haoming, who was in his 60s, knocked on the door gently and pushed it open. This man was very humble, not tall or fat. After he came in, he first bowed to Jiang Chen and then hurried over to shake hands with Jiang Chen. Hello, Mayor Jiang. I'm the president of devour Auto. You can just call me Xiao Jin. After Jin Haoming finished speaking, he hurriedly took out a box from behind. In the box was a ginseng, a specialty he brought from Hanqiao country. This was a wild ginseng that Jin Haoming bought at a high price. However, Jiang Chen just glanced at it and did not reach out to take it. It's just a little gift from Mayor Jiang. I came in a hurry and didn't prepare any gifts. No problem, but you should take this thing back. If you want ginseng, I'll give you one or two later. The quality is definitely better than what you have. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, Jin Haoming withdrew his hand with some embarrassment. After all, people of Jiang Chen's level had all kinds of treasures. Moreover, along the way, Jin Haoming saw the oasis built by Jiang Chen in the desert and the super high-rise buildings of Jiang Chen in the future city. He was already shocked and dumbfounded. He felt that only a godlike person like Jiang Chen could create such a godlike place. and from the moment he stepped into the future city, he knew that if the current center of the world is New York and Manhattan, then the center of the world in the future will definitely be the desert Central Asia future city that has never been recognized by Westerners. Sorry, I don't have anything good to give you, please forgive me. At the beginning, Jin Haoming of the Dalong group did not have such a good attitude towards Jiang Chen. He came to Jiang Chen just for cooperation, so he did not really prepare the gift seriously. After all, everyone in Central Asia is prejudiced, not to mention a Han Chao countryman who is already very prejudiced. So when he arrived at Future City and found himself arrogant, it was too late to prepare a gift. Okay, my time is precious. I heard that you are confident that you can squeeze out the market of devour automobile in Han Chao country. Now I give you 5 minutes to convince me, otherwise hurry up. Where can you go to cool down? Fortunately, the president of Dalong Group came in person, otherwise Jiang Chen would not even meet him. I have confidence. Now Han Chao country does not allow Sahara automobile to enter Han Chao country's market. At the same time, in order to protect Han Chao country's automobile industry, other brands of automobiles are also difficult to enter Han Chao country's market. So if you want to really have several models of devour automobile group, you can only start from the inside. And we are undoubtedly the best choice. We have agreed with the people in the parliament that they also want to support a new automobile brand to replace devour automobile. So as long as we can get these high-end parts of yours, as long as we can stop the blockade of our Dalong automobile with other automobile parts suppliers, at that time, we will definitely defeat devour automobile. As long as we defeat devour automobile, your revenge will be avenged, right? Regarding the blockade of automobiles, Jiang Chen not only targeted devour automobile, but also all automobile brands in Han Chao country. So now Han country urgently needs a car brand to stand up, otherwise, their tax revenue will drop a lot. At that time, the decline in tax revenue will lead to a butterfly effect in all aspects, and the people will definitely not let this government continue to be in power. So Dalong Group took the initiative to contact these politicians, and finally they hit it off. I can't be moved by your reason. Sorry, time is up. Goodbye. There are so many car companies in Han Chao country, why should he cooperate with Dalong Automobile? And if he continues the blockade, Han Chao country's automobile industry will be finished sooner or later, and he will get his revenge sooner or later. And Jiang Chen is very happy to see devour automobile see his slow death in agony. Wait, give me the last 2 minutes. Our Dalong automobile not only produces cars, but also buses. Before the blockade, our buses sold very well in the world. If you can promise not to blockade us, and provide us with parts, I'm willing to let Sahara Automobile invest 20% of our Volkswagen shares. At the same time, our Dalong Automobile Group's headquarters will move from Han Chao country to Future City. From now on, we will pay taxes to Future City, and we will be a company in Future City. If this opportunity is missed, then Dalong Group may always be just a small company in Han Chao country, and he will never have a chance to turn over. But if Dalong Automobile can get this opportunity, then he can definitely rely on his relationship with Jiang Chen to build a world-class supercar company. So at the critical moment of life and death, Jin Haoming, the president of Dalong Group, directly offered his biggest concession. After Jin Haoming finished speaking, he looked at Jiang Chen with a pair of pleading eyes. Jiang Chen lay on the comfortable rocking chair and thought. When Jin Haoming saw Jiang Chen hesitated, he knew that Jiang Chen was a little tempted. So he hurriedly persuaded him, "Me Jiang, you are a man with a long-term vision. If I can follow you, I will definitely have a chance to stand out. So I'm willing to move here from Han Chao country to follow you, and you also need me. Our group is definitely very mature in the production and sales of large buses. Now your Sahara Automobile produces cars, and you don't produce buses, but look at how many buses the entire Future City needs. Let's not talk about anything else. We produce it ourselves, and we purchase it ourselves. How much money can we save?" If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 695, Monkeys in the Eyes of Westerners. After Jin Haoming finished speaking, Jiang Chen looked at an empty building in the distance, which was a building of nearly 500 meters. This building was not the tallest building in Future City, and he couldn't even get a ranking in the Future City Financial Center. However, this building can be built in the desert, and it can also be ranked in the top 50 in the world in terms of height, so its value is also not cheap. Do you want to move the headquarters to Future City? Yes, I think it will be the financial center of the whole world sooner or later. That building is for you, and you will invest in 85% of the shares of Dalong Group. In addition, you will get the same support as Sahara Group. Jiang Chen finished speaking and insisted on taking away his 85% shares. Jin Haoming hesitated. After all, Dalong Automobile is their family business, but when he looked at the super building that Jiang Chen pointed to, after a brief thought, he gritted his teeth and replied, "Okay, I agree. I will go back and tell my family that I will clear out all the shares of other people within a month. Just ask Mayor Jiang's grandmother to write me a letter of guarantee to ensure that we can get the same treatment as Sahara Automobile." Jin Haoming was a little worried, but after a brief thought, he realized that this would definitely be the most correct decision in his life. Apart from anything else, he had a successful example before. She Wenfei of Junlin Hotel Group had conducted a hotel transaction with Jiang Chen in this way of cooperation. Today, She Wenfei's net worth has long exceeded hundreds of billions. And more importantly, Jiang Chen promised to let them enjoy the same support as Sahara Automobile. This is the most attractive thing for him, because as long as he gets the same treatment as She Automobile, it means that he will get the second generation battery of Sahara Battery Group. Now many places use energy vehicles for buses, such as New Energy Buses and New Energy Buses. And now the better selling new energy vehicles and bus companies in the world all use Sahara's first generation batteries. It was precisely because of the blockade of Sahara Battery Group that Dalong Automobile lost the passenger car and bus market in the world. But if they can get 3 and 2 batteries, then they will definitely rise again and quickly occupy the market they lost. Not only that, they may even monopolize this market. After all, you are the first generation of batteries, and I'm the second generation of batteries. The storage capacity between the first generation of batteries and the second generation of batteries is much higher. So in order to be the overlord in the field of passenger cars and buses, he agreed to let Jiang Chen get 85% of the shares. What's more, he also gave them Enterprise Mobile, such a tall building located in the central economic zone of Future City, for free. Okay, let me know as soon as you figure it out. My time is limited. If there is no reply within 3 days, I will consider cooperating with other people. Just give me 1 day, I will take a plane back to discuss with the family now. After Jiang Chen wrote a letter of guarantee to Jin Haoming didn't even bother to eat and took a car to leave Future City and rushed to the airport. After Jin Haoming left, Jiang Chen also breathed a sigh of relief. Well, a foreign company has finally moved into Future City. Give yourself a thumbs up and have an extra meal tonight. Since the winter storm ended, Jiang Chen has been advertising non-stop. But what embarrassed him was that his housing sales in Kanishan City and Future City were extremely hot. After all, this is the only place that can withstand the winter storm, and it is also the only super oasis in the world in the desert era. This is the only oasis that they can actively build in the desert. This oasis is not like other countries that have not been swallowed by the desert. Those countries may become deserts, but this place will never become a desert again. So the new houses launched in Future City have become popular. Many rich people have bought houses here, preparing to come here to take refuge when the Great Desert comes completely. However, no one is interested in the commercial center of Future City. Occasionally, a few companies come to visit, but in the end they all fail due to various problems. Jiang Chen summarized these problems. After a big data survey, most of the large foreign companies are unwilling to come. It is because they still think that the center of the world is in the United States, rather than in Central Asia. Therefore, many people are still unwilling to admit that Central Asia has the possibility of rising. Especially in the eyes of Westerners, the Central Asia is a chaotic, dilapidated, backward and extreme place. Another part of the enterprises want to move from China or the desert-invaded Central Asian region to Future City, but the transportation of Future City completely discourages them. Everyone knows that some multinational companies pay attention to geographical convenience, especially the developed transportation. But the huge Future City does not even have an airport. This makes it impossible for many companies to quickly connect with the world. Because of this, they cannot open their business to the whole world. There is another reason. Super city clusters like Future City, which once had a population of 30 to 40 million, do not even have subways and high-speed railways. People usually travel by public buses and cars. Can you imagine the congestion on the streets every day? In the densely populated Sac City and Kingshan City, sometimes when going to and from get off work, the streets are blocked for more than 10 miles. This is the case after many companies have opened staggered get off work hours. So this also discouraged many Chinese and Central Asian companies. Seeing which companies would rather choose the IMA special zone than the high-end Future City, Jiang Chen was really troubled. He wanted to change this situation, so he negotiated with China about the airport, and China passed the bill to build an airport in the Future City. However, no aviation construction company was willing to build an airport here, because no company currently has the ability to build an airport in the desert. In addition, no company took Jiang Chen's job on the subway. After the winter storm, the only thing that started construction in the entire Future City area was the high-speed rail from the special zone to the Future City special zone to Sac City. This also cost a very high price to build. By the way, in the afternoon, while it's the weekend, quickly start a live broadcast to sell the last house in Canny Mountain. In Jiang Chen's impression, only when his population exceeds another 10 million, the system will give him a super seed. So Jiang Chen is very fond of selling houses, because selling houses can not only allow him to accumulate more funds, but also help it increase a large number of population. This increase in population can not only increase his strength against the United States and Western countries, but also bring him a super seed. Chapter 696, The Israelis Join. Jiang Chen found that, if he wanted to truly surpass other countries or regions, he had to use super seeds to change its status quo. So Jiang Chen was ready to lower the immigration standards of Kanishan City again. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen drove directly through the Wutafeng Tunnel to Kanishan City. The Wutafeng Tunnel was Jiang Chen's masterpiece in the past few months. When Jiang Chen sold all the houses in Kingshan City, the total population of the city had exceeded 30 million. So the system gave him a building material seed, which was a super cave machine. This thing was like a pangolin, and was very good at digging holes. So Jiang Chen used the cave machine to directly open up Wutafeng, and he built 2 tunnels at Wutafeng. These 2 tunnels, one for building roads and the other for building intercity high-speed rail. Now that the highway has been built, it has directly shortened the distance between Future City and Kanishan City. So after the fundamental improvement in transportation, Jiang Chen decided to start selling houses in Kanishan City. Hello everyone, I'm Jiang Chen who loves farming. I haven't started live streaming for a long time. Many people told me online that after the winter storm, more and more people realized the importance of the living environment. Therefore, the houses in Kingshan City became popular. In the last few communities, each square meter was sold at a price of 60,000 to 70,000. This price is comparable to that of super first-tier cities in China. Therefore, more and more people left messages in the cactus video asking me when I would start selling the houses in Kanishan City. Today I will tell you a definite news. From now on, all the houses in Kanishan City will be sold. Some of the houses in Kanishan City and Future City have been pre-sold. This is not called pre-sale. Jiang Chen calls it a talent retention plan. Because of the winter storm, more and more people have seen the huge advantages of Kingshan City, and more people understand that this is the Noah's Ark. Therefore, the number of applicants worldwide has skyrocketed, especially those countries invaded by the desert, and many of them have come to invest nationwide. According to incomplete statistics, 70% of the residents from the Mediterranean generation, the origin of the Sahara Desert, immigrated to Kingshan City. Because they live a life of refugees in other countries. Although many people are rich, they are looked down upon by the locals, and many people cannot enjoy the various local policies. So many desert people in exile have turned their attention back to the desert, including many scholars, professors and patriotic gentlemen. However, Kingshan City is a city that focuses on Chinese, so many people from the Mediterranean generation are turned away. However, Jiang Chen made an exception for some people, that is, the Jews, who are known as one of the smartest races in the world. The Jews established the Kingdom of Israel by the Mediterranean, and the Kingdom of Israel was annexed by the desert. When the Sahara Desert was tyrannical, the Jews lost their country and drifted to Europe and the Grey Continent. These Jews were excluded by European countries because of some religious issues, and their business talents made many lazy Europeans lose their jobs. Therefore, Europe and other places have set off a wave of driving away desert refugees, and many Jews have suffered greatly. Therefore, the European Jewish Federation sent an application to Jiang Chen. They wanted to settle in Kingshan City because they did not exclude their beliefs. Moreover, Jiang Chen City is also an immigrant city. Immigrant cities are all immigrants, and there is no such thing as who looks down on whom. After receiving the application from the Jewish Federation, Guanju came to Jiang Chen to discuss it. Jiang Chen originally wanted to refuse, but considering that these people are rich, and there are many scientists and cutting-edge professors in various disciplines on the immigration list, so Jiang Chen agreed to their immigration. However, Kingshan City is a city dominated by Chinese, so after thinking about it, Jiang Chen finally decided to settle these people in Kingshan City in the southern urban area of the future city. Xian King Se Deng Yan it's finally starting to sell. We can't wait. It's really lucky that we didn't die in this winter storm. Zia Lao Dongfeng, we are also preparing to immigrate with our family, not for anything else, seeing that the entire Kingshan City and Sak City are open for business. Our hotel has been closed for more than 3 months. Do you know how we feel when we want to cry, but have no tears? Where is I going? My KTV was also closed for 3 months, and I lost millions directly. Forget it, I'm going to immigrate anyway. Daeang, can you give us a detailed introduction to Kingshan City? Why do I feel that Kingshan City is much more remote than Kingshan City? Hopeful Pig, I saw on the news that the houses in Kingshan City are more expensive than those in Kingshan City. How can such a remote place be so expensive? Can you explain it? A group of people talked about the housing prices in Kingshan City. This Jiang Chen really needs to be explained. Kingshan City is more remote than Kingshan City, but that's not the case. People think Kingshan City is not remote, mainly because it is in the center of the special zone in Future City. People think Kingshan City is remote because it is far from the special zone. But what I want to explain to you here is that in the future, in the northwest of China and even in the entire Turkestan region, Future City will definitely be the center and core area of this generation. So in comparison, Kingshan City, which is separated by a mountain, is in a much better location than Kingshan City. It can be said that at present, the city closest to the central city Future City is Kingshan City. And another point is that Kingshan City is a city with tourism and ecological living as its characteristics. This city is on the sunny side of the mountain, and the sunshine and beautiful scenery it can enjoy are definitely the most in the entire Future City area. After Jiang Chen finished speaking, many people still expressed their opposition. Little star, I haven't been to Future City, but the current Future City is far inferior to Kingshan City in the special zone. In addition, when it comes to tourism, where can the scenery be as good as the East City district of Future City? Bidahuang, Kingshan City has no medical care, no education, and no transportation. Anchor, you really bully our IQ this time. It is true what they said. Compared with other places, Kingshan City is indeed slightly inferior in terms of university education and transportation. However, Jiang Chengbin raised the housing price in Kingshan City to a minimum of 40,000 per square meter, which definitely has his own reasons. You are wrong. I will take this opportunity to explain it to you in detail. As everyone knows, I implemented a policy immigration some time ago. I hope my city is an all-encompassing city, a compatible, tolerant, harmonious, and equal city. So some time ago I accepted the application of the Israel Federation, and I agreed that Jews around the world can choose to settle in my city. So future city has set off a wave of global Jewish immigration. In the past 5 or 6 months, we have received nearly 4 million Jews from Europe, Africa, North America and South America. Nearly half of these people have now arrived in future city and Kanishan city. Chapter 697. Storm City. Everyone knows the Jews well. They are smart, good at business, and rich. So many Jews are a symbol of wealth. Of course, Jiang Chen accepted them not for their wealth. We not only accept Jews from all over the world, but also accept their applications for reopening. From now on, we will build a brand new Israel University of Technology, Israel University of Technology, Israel Medical College, Israel Business School, and Israel Medical College in Kanishan City. These universities will gather the pride of Israel again, and these universities will also be taught by the original professors and scholars. Now I don't need to say it, you should be able to guess the importance of these universities in the world. Here I will briefly mention that the number of professors in these universities may not be so many in the entire Northwest. In addition, regarding basic education, Kanishan City will be divided into 2 educational models. You can choose a primary school, middle school, and high school with traditional Israeli characteristics founded by Israelis, or you can choose to study in a local school in the future city like Kanishan City. After Jiang Chen said this, the opposition was instantly weakened. Everyone knows how powerful the Israelis are. Before the desert annexed Central Asia and the Mediterranean, Israel defeated many attacks by the Arabs with its small land. And many famous scientists in the world are also Israelis. Now you can go to Israeli schools without leaving home, and then study at Israeli universities. This is simply something you dare not even think about. Coward, it's really good, if it's really like what you said. Because of the IQ of the Israelis and the diligence of the Chinese, then Kanishan City will not be weaker than other cities. Blue Ocean, in this case, Kanishan City has become a scientific and educational base. In addition, Kanishan City also has the Kanishan tourist attraction, and it is itself a Bagua city, and you can see storms in winter. There are also Israeli hospitals, which is definitely a great choice for life. Pictures speak louder than words. Kanishan City is more like an integrated international city, where there will be exchanges and collisions of various cultures, and there will be the top business schools here, and perhaps the top Western medical school will be born here. Plus the perfect ecology here. Kanishan City is really promising in the future. The dream of table tennis. If that's the case, then houses are really not that expensive. Now, the lowest salary will not be less than 7,000 or 8,000, and the salary of an ordinary white-collar worker is already 20,000 or 30,000. In China in 2028, everyone's salary has increased many times compared to before. Nowadays, even an ordinary street sweeper's salary has reached 6,000 or 7,000, and a chef's salary can reach 30,000 or 40,000 a month. So buying a house priced at around 40,000 now is equivalent to buying a house priced at 10,000 or 20,000 3 or 4 years ago. This is a price that an ordinary white-collar worker can accept. Thunderbolt from the blue. Sac City is a city dominated by the Salmons, and Kanishan City is a city dominated by the Chinese. Kanishan City is a city dominated by Israelis. So is Kanishan City also headed by Israelis? After Thunderbolt from the blue, many people followed up and asked questions. Cold eyes. Yes. Is Kanishan City dominated by Israelis? Ocean. If an Israeli is the mayor, will they engage in racial discrimination in the future? Mr. Caterpillar, actually, I think there is nothing wrong with letting Israelis be mayors. I have to say that they are much better than others in all aspects. Some people talked about the system problems of Kanishan City. Mr. thought about it and decided to introduce it to everyone. After all, a city, no matter how high its starting point is, if it does not have a good leadership team, then this city will definitely be surpassed by others slowly. That's right. So many tourists in the world are willing to come to Kanishan, not only because of the special location and beautiful environment of Kanishan City. I promised them that, as long as they come, I will give them a city. This city will be dominated by them, and they have the final say here. So the mayor of this city is an Israeli, and most of the members of the city's parliament are also Israelis. However, there will be many seats for other ethnic groups in the parliament. Another thing I can guarantee is that no matter who will be the leader of Kanishan City, Kanishan City will be a fair and just city. People living in this city, no matter what skin color you are, what profession you are, or what nationality you are, you enjoy all the rights equal. This is the result of Jiang Chen's negotiation with the Israel Federation. They want to manage the city themselves. Of course, the result of their compromise is that this city will be a diversified city, and other ethnic groups will join this city. And their own governance of the city does not mean that this city is an Israeli city. Kanishan City is still administratively affiliated to Future City, but they have certain local legislative powers at the local level, that's all. In addition, there are 2 official languages in Kanishan City. The first is Chinese, and the second is Israeli. So once you choose to settle in Kanishan City, your children will learn 2 languages from an early age. There is nothing much to say about the language. For example, in Sac City, children in Sac City have to learn Sac and Chinese. Now many children can speak Sac and Chinese. They like to speak Sac in Sac City and speak Chinese in other cities. In fact, not only Jiang Chen, but also in China, they have to learn 2 languages, but they have to learn English and Chinese. Jiang Chen does not require English. Chen requires these local children to learn 2 languages. The first is to preserve the cultural heritage of those ethnic groups. Speaking Chinese is just to unify everyone's language, which is conducive to communication between cities. For more questions about the city, you can log into my Sahara story network or the official website of Kanishan for detailed understanding. Now I will start to lead you to visit our Kanishan city, Jiang Chen said, and drove directly to the edge of Kanishan. It is actually very simple to understand Kanishan city. As long as you climb the high Pottian peak, you don't need to climb to the top, but run to the halfway point of the mountain. You can overlook the entire Kanishan city. A few months ago, you still had to climb Pottian Peak by yourself, but in the past few months, the Kanishan scenic area has built a cableway. So as long as you take the cableway, you can easily climb to the halfway point of Kanishan Mountain. Chapter 698 VR World. As dusk approached, the setting sun looked like blood. On the hillside of the Pottian Peak, a single peak, the forests and the mountains were lush and green. The wind on the hillside was a bit strong. Standing on the hillside, you could see a desert that stretched to the sky. At the intersection of the desert and the grassland, a city like the Bagua city appeared. The city was full of tall buildings. On the other side of the city was the dim desert, and on this side of the city was the endless grassland. When I looked into the city with a telescope, there were already some lights in the city. This is the city of Kani Mountain. The night slowly came, and I took the cable car all the way to the top of Pottian Peak. It was already night at the foot of the mountain, but the setting sun could still be seen in the distance on the peak. The clouds under the setting sun were covered with layers of gold. Walking on the top of the mountain, it was as if walking in a piece of golden clouds. This place looks like the heavenly palace where immortals live, with looming pavilions and towers, and the giant trees on the top of the mountain. No one would have thought that this place was actually in the desert. The sea and the sky are one color. Wow, it's so spectacular. Every step of Pottian Peak is a scene. I want to become an immortal. Hahaha, this is really like life. I came from the desert in the distance, came to the oasis, climbed up the mountain, and then what greeted me was a life like a fairy. Happy. In the era of the spread of the death desert, humans still have such a fairyland. It is worth dying to be able to go to Pottian Peak, to enjoy the world's best. At this moment, Jiang Chen was also sitting on a round stone. He just looked at the setting sun in the distance and the city swallowed by the night. He hasn't been so open-minded for a long time. It's true that he wants to see more, and go to a higher level. Jiang Chen feels that he has climbed to such a high mountain top at this moment, and his heart has indeed gone up to who knows how many floors. There are also people in the wonders of nature. The magnificent sea of clouds and the vastness of the mountains will indeed cleanse people's souls, and make people more pure. Yes, if we can live in this paradise on earth, if there are no sandstorms in this world forever, then how wonderful our lives will be. Jiang Chen sat on the top of the mountain for 2 hours before going down the mountain. When he went down the mountain, the hearts that were within reach had already filled the sky. Today's live broadcast ends here. I won't show you the specific situation of Kani Mountain City in detail. You can now log into VR World and then select Canny Mountain City, and you can use technology to appreciate the grandeur of Canny Mountain City. VR World is a real-life app software launched by Dream Technology. This software was originally created for games. Ordinary games now can no longer meet human needs, so VR real-life games appeared. In VR real-life games, Dream Technology is definitely the king here. Today's Dream Technology is more like Penguin Games more than a decade ago. Dream Technology is also a super game company invested by Jiang Chen, and its headquarters is located in Sac City. However, Dream Technology has transformed today. Dream Technology not only makes games, but has also entered the VR movie world. Dream Technology and Sahara Film Group jointly filmed several documentaries and movies in the scenic area, and then played them through the VR world. Several movies were very successful, and the stereoscopic effects of the VR world showed the effect that was simply amazing. Therefore, Dream Technology is hailed as a milestone company that will change traditional movies. With the success of Dream Technology in movies, they have entered the development of VR cities and VR tourism. Now VR tourism has been launched, and Sahara Group has many scenic spots. Can you imagine that, as long as you put on a pair of glasses, you can see a large bamboo forest appear in front of you? Even standing in this bamboo forest, you can hear the rustling sound of bamboo leaves. Yes, this is the Wooden House Town Bamboo Sea scenic spot. Of course, you can also see the poppy flowers swaying in the wind in the valley when you put on glasses, and the world is simply beautiful. However, VR tourism is also very expensive. This way of tourism is like people entering the scenic spot. Tickets are charged. For example, you download the VR world and then buy a pair of glasses. You want to see the blooming of the internet celebrity grass. Then you have to buy a ticket to the Bermuda Oasis scenic area, which has the internet celebrity grass attraction. After paying the ticket fee online, you can watch the internet celebrity grass all over the world. You choose to use VR tourism, which can reduce your travel expenses, and you can enter the scenic area anytime and anywhere. But there are also disadvantages. After all, using VR glasses is not immersive, which gives people a more shocking feeling. But Jiang Chen doesn't care about those. He has already done enough to change the world with technology. And VR tourism has indeed brought a lot of income to Jiang Chen. The ticket income of VR tourism is divided into 3:7 between Dream Technology and the scenic spot. No matter how they divide it, Jiang Chen can take part of the money from the two companies according to the desert construction law. In addition, Dream Technology has just launched VR City. The idea of VR City also comes from VR tourism. There are many people in this world who want to go to many cities, but they often cannot fulfill their dreams because they don't have enough money or time. So at this time, VR City appeared. VR City will make some popular cities into VR world cities, where you can see every building and every street in the city, like watching a movie. And you can also choose to pause according to your own preferences, and then watch it in all directions without dead angles, such as this street, park or just a tree. 2 months ago, VR City had filmed the entire Canishan City. After more than a month of emergency production, Canishan City was successfully launched on VR World. Now you only need to pay a viewing fee of 30 yuan in VR World, and you can choose to watch every street and every building in Canishan City. Of course, you can also choose the house you like here, and then enter the Canishan immigration network to purchase it. By the way, many people may not have downloaded VR World yet. Here I solemnly introduce to you that VR World is a new multifunctional software that we have launched, including movie tourism city map encyclopedia. If you download it now, you will also get a membership. Now VR World also holds a lottery every day, and you have a chance to win free VR glasses. After Jiang Chen advertised Dream Technology, the click-through rate and download rate of Dream Technology instantly exploded. In less than half an hour, VR World had nearly 10 million new downloads. This software, which was originally popular only in Future City, was instantly brought to all parts of the world by Jiang Chen. Of course, it was only a matter of seconds before the software was paralyzed, so within half an hour, the VR World complaint hotline was flooded with calls. Chapter 699 I'm already a god. The president of Dream Technology was almost stunned. It was getting dark, and Dream Technology was just about to get off work. Instantly, their download volume soared rapidly. Not only that, the number of people who paid online and used it also exploded at a blowout rate. So this once caused the software, which was known for its exquisiteness and high-end service, to be paralyzed. Upgrade the server, call all the engineers who are off work back to me, and notify the network department to solve the problem for me within 10 minutes. Liang Siguo, the president of Dream Technology, was busy for 2 or 3 hours, and then he barely stabilized the VR world. It was late at night, and in just one night, the number of registered users of the VR world had reached 120 million. There was nothing strange about this, because Jiang Chen was recommending the VR world of Dream Technology to everyone when he was coming down from the mountain. When he came down from the mountain, because of the beautiful fairyland of Pottian Peak, Jiang Chen's live broadcast attracted 345 million viewers from all over the world. Even in China, which has a population of nearly 1.5 billion, 200 million people were watching Jiang Chen's live broadcast, which was nearly double the number of Jiang Chen's usual live broadcasts. The reason why so many people have watched the game is all thanks to the wonderland of Pottian Peak. So it is not surprising that so many people have downloaded and registered the game under Jiang Chen's strong recommendation. At night, Jiang Chen was walking alone on the empty street, and suddenly his cell phone rang. Brother Jiang, I'm Zhao Liang from Dream Technology. Thank you for your advertisement today. I don't know what to say. Well, I'm on my way to Cactus World now. I have booked a table at Emerald Lake Hotel. I know Brother Jiang is not far from here. Can I treat Brother Jiang to dinner today? The Cactus World scenic area is indeed not far from Kanishan City. At this moment, Jiang Chen's stomach is also a little hungry. He is not used to the food of the Israelis, so after thinking for a while, Jiang Chen nodded. It just so happened that Jiang Chen also wanted to talk to Liang Siguo. He thought that Liang Siguo's project was really good. If possible, Jiang Chen would really like to include him in his plan of $100 billion enterprises in Future City. Okay, then I'll wait for you at the Emerald Lake scenic area. Jiang Chen would be a fool not to go if someone invited him to dinner, not to mention that the other person asked for a super hotel like the Emerald Lake Hotel. In the night, Jiang Chen drove his beloved car along the 7th Ring Road towards the Emerald Lake scenic area. Jiang Chen's life is not comfortable now. He owes a lot of money to the system. After selling all the houses in Kingshan City, he only paid back half of the money. Now he has to pay the system nearly 30 million in interest every day, which is why Jiang Chen is anxious to sell the house in Kanishan City. It is precisely because he owes so much money that Jiang Chen's daily life is very tight. He himself can't remember how many days he hasn't been to a big hotel for dinner. He only knows that the noodles in the trunk have been eaten up again. Alas, now the city has entered a period of rapid development in all aspects, and President Guan and Fatty Wang don't invite me to dinner. I just paid back the interest of the last few months with the group dividends. If I don't sell the house in Canny Mountain quickly, I won't even be able to eat noodles. No, I'll go to Fatty Wang to get a job. Although the future city leader agreement stipulates that I can't serve as the group president, so as to avoid unfair treatment of other groups. But I'm just a small manager of a grouting food company, so I don't have to eat noodles every day. It's really hard to live like this day of paying debts every day. Jiang Chen rushed to the Cactus Forest World scenic area in the gap of emotion. Today's Cactus Forest World scenic area is no longer the small scenic area that trembled in front of the Bermuda Oasis scenic area. Today's Cactus Forest World scenic area has successfully become an influential music capital in Central Asia and even the world. The Desert Heart Concert Hall in the Cactus Forest World scenic area has become the Golden Hall of the East. Many musicians who want to hold concerts here have to apply 6 months in advance. Moreover, the Desert Heart Recording Hall has become the preferred recording hall for singers and stars. The songs and music recorded here are more than 10 times more beautiful than those recorded in other recording halls. Therefore, the Cactus Forest World scenic area has become a pilgrimage site for musicians. In addition to music, the Cactus Forest World scenic area also has the famous Emerald Lake scenic area, Mingsha Mountain scenic area and Martial Arts World scenic area. These scenic areas have become the hottest attractions in the Sahara region, especially the Emerald International Hotel by the Emerald Lake. This hotel ranks among the best in the entire Sahara region. After rushing to the scenic area, Liang Siguo had arrived early. He had booked a seat in the Lotus Hall on the lake of the Emerald Lake International Hotel. The private room in the Lotus Hall on the lake costs at least 10,000 yuan a night, and this is not something you can book just because you have money. Brother Jiang, it's really troublesome for you to come here from afar. I'll treat you today. Let's order some home-cooked meals. In late summer, a cool breeze blew from the lake, rippling layers of waves under the moonlight. On such a cool night, if you can drink some wine and talk about things of interest with some like-minded people, this night can be comfortable. It doesn't matter. We should eat home-cooked food when it's time to eat home-cooked food, and if we eat too much home-cooked food, we might as well eat something else. Jiang Chen didn't have to pay for it anyway. He almost got sick from eating home-cooked food. Okay, then order a few dishes. Liang Siguo finished speaking, and the secretary behind him quickly asked for the menu and reordered a few dishes. It's really not Jiang Chen's fault that he doesn't know how to be frugal. He really hasn't had a decent dinner for a long time. It can be said that, since he owed the system trillions, he has been eating noodles almost every day. Brother Jiang, come here. Let me introduce you. These are the vice presidents of Dream Technology. They are in charge of different businesses of Dream Technology. This is Leo Liu, the person in charge of our VR movies. This is Leo Guo, the person in charge of VR cities. This is Leo Fang, the person in charge of VR tourism. This is Leo Yu, the person in charge of VR encyclopedia. And these are the members of the new business unit. They are all actively preparing their own projects. In order to invite Jiang Chen to this meal, Liang Siguo actually brought all the vice presidents and department heads of his company. Hello, Brother Jiang. A group of people bowed to Jiang Chen, which was quite like the underworld meeting the boss. Okay, everyone, please sit down. It just so happens that we have nothing to do today, so let's have a drink and chat together. By the way, Leo Liang, how far has your company developed now? I remember that your team was the first batch of Sac City network technology companies we invested in. Chapter 700, Internet Capital. A few years ago, when Jiang Chen built Poppy Town, he positioned it as an internet city and a movie city. Now, a few years have passed, and some movie companies and internet companies have indeed become prosperous in Poppy Town. And this Dream Technology company is one of the best among them. Brother Jiang, our company has now achieved profitability. This year, our revenue from games is close to 1 billion. We have developed more than 20 VR games, which are popular in China, Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America. In addition, several VR movies we invested in have also sold nearly 6 billion. We are now preparing to cooperate with Sahara Film Group. In the next 3 years, we will launch the VR version of Sahara movies. After Leo Liang finished speaking, Jiang Chen nodded. It must be said that Dream Technology has great potential. Their current market value has already started at 10 billion. Very good. I'm very optimistic about you. By the way, do you have any difficulties? Jiang Chen felt that he needed to promote Dream Technology Company. After all, he wanted to build 100 billion companies, and Dream Technology was the best choice. In fact, if Dream Technology develops well, its market value can even reach 100 billion. Speaking of difficulties, Liang Siguo thought for a while and said, there are really many difficulties. In the past, we had limited funds and no money for advertising. So our users are basically mainly in Sac City and Kingshan City. But this problem has been solved. Brother Jiang advertised for us, and our registered users have spread all over the world. However, there are many VR companies now. If we want to be the leader, we must build an ecological chain of content and hardware. Therefore, we lack money and a large investment. After Leo Liang finished speaking, Jiang Chen became interested in the industrial chain one day when they wanted to build an industrial chain. Tell me about your plan. If your plan can make me excited, I will invest a lot of money in you, and it will definitely make your company a leader in the VR industry. Jiang Chen finished speaking happily, and the dishes were served over there. When Liu Liang heard that Jiang Chen was going to invest in him, he was instantly excited. Really? That's great. Brother Jiang, we already have a user base now, and what we have to do now is to do our best to retain them. If you want to retain them, it will definitely not work just relying on VR travel, movies, and cities. Why not? I think these softwares are all very good. These softwares are good, but because we have no money, we have very few partners. For example, our movies. All the movies we have released so far are movies invested by ourselves. In the future, we will only get the copyrights of several movies from Sahara films. If we want VR movies to be truly accepted by everyone, we must buy more movie copyrights. And now we have to buy not only the copyrights of movies, but also the copyrights of variety shows and TV series if we want to make videos. It is a particularly large expense to purchase copyrights, and this expense is not available for our VR movies. In addition, there is VR tourism, which has a higher investment cost. We must invite the most professional team to shoot the tourist attractions, and after shooting, we have to produce them. After this set of processes, the cost of a scenic spot is almost catching up with that of a movie. And now we are facing a problem. Many popular scenic spots and attractions are unwilling to cooperate with us. They are afraid that we will rob them of their business. Tourists can watch the scenic spots on VR glasses. Will they still go to the scenic spots in person? So now the scenic spots we cooperate with are all some unknown scenic spots. It is precisely because these scenic spots are unknown that many users are dissatisfied. Liang Sigo finished speaking. Jiang Chen thought about it. This is indeed a problem. Then what do you think? Since Liu Liang raised the question, he must have a plan to deal with it. So Jiang Chen looked at Liang Sigo and continued to ask. Liang Sigo poured Jiang Chen a glass of wine, and several people drank it. This is what I think. We must take out loans to get the copyrights of some popular movies, TV series and variety shows in order to keep VR movies. In addition, in the future, when the VR movie company is profitable, we will jointly invest in some movies or TV series with other film companies. In this way, our copyright problem can be solved. In addition, in VR tourism, we plan to continue to negotiate with some famous scenic spots at home and abroad. We can give them more share, and we can also advertise for them. Or, we buy out their scenic spots. For example, buy out for a year. We give them a certain amount of money a year, so that they can make a lot of money, and I don't think anyone will refuse. But to do this, we need a huge investment, because there are so many famous scenic spots at home and abroad. If we can't get more filming rights for scenic spots, then we may be caught by domestic or foreign tourism tycoons and surpass us. This is what Liang Sigo is worried about. He is now casting a very large net, but his funds are limited. Moreover, the financing funds he can get in China are also limited, which is different from the investment of those foreign giants. They can continue to raise funds, and they have lost their innate advantages in this regard. Okay, you don't have to worry about these two things. I will ask Future City Investment Group to increase your investment amount. In addition, you said you are going to build an ecological chain. Can you tell me more about it? In order to build his own plan of 100 billion companies, Jiang Chen is going to use half of the income from the Future City Financial District to establish the Future City Investment Group. The Future City Investment Group will be responsible for investing in those companies with potential to influence the world. Once they are selected by the Future City Investment Group, the funds they will receive will not be just a few hundred million or tens of billions. Yes, Brother Jiang, we are going to build an ecological chain that is closely related to everyone's life. For example, we are now going to build a VR zoo. In the future, as long as you download the VR Zoo app in the VR world, you will be able to enjoy the situation in some zoos that cooperate with us. In addition, our zoo app also has an animal encyclopedia. You can directly search for any animal you want to know about. Then you can see all the animals you want to see in 3 dimensions, as if they appear in front of you. In addition to the zoo app, we will also launch the botanical garden app. This is also a popular science app software. The difference between it and other app software is that you can see the plants in an immersive way. In addition to these, we are also preparing to launch VR doctors and VR searches in the future. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.